Network.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and The Fan Sports Network. Good morning, good morning, morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
What is happening?
How we doing?
Doing fantastic. That was a 3-day weekend.
Oh, it was glorious.
Delightful.
I mean, it was one of those, I turned to my wife. My wife ended up waking up and feeling worse, so she got sick.
That's wonderful.
She was sick like 3 weeks ago, so somehow my youngest got sick, and she's the one who got sick.
That's the worst.
Which is confusing because usually you get sick, you don't get sick for a long time.
Usually it's one thing that spreads around the house. Everybody gets it, and then you're good for an amount of time.
I haven't been sick yet.
Clears it out. You're lucky, man,
I've
now.
been really lucky so far.
Dodging bullets
Seriously.
left and right. You're going Keanu and in the Matrix.
So the wife wakes up. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Cool.
She's not feeling good, so her day off basically turned into a sick day.
That's wonderful.
And then my oldest, I was like, you know what? We're not going to go to the zoo. It's pissing rain.
No, it has not stopped for like 3 straight days.
But we can go to breakfast.
Yeah, let's go get some breakfast.
Yeah.
I woke up. I got out of bed. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, I wonder what time she's going to get up. And I didn't want to wake her. She got up at 9:40, and I turned around and I go, I like having the day off, but this is why I don't take days off.
Yeah.
I'm almost off my show.
This would have been it. I would have been home by 10. She just got up.
She would have just been getting up.
Let's go get breakfast now at 10:30. We could do that.
I was like, okay. And we went and got it was great. We got breakfast, ran some errands and stuff. I had to pick pads out.
Got some things done.
Get the pads with wings, Dad.
Yeah, make sure the right pads are there.
Which ones? You know, the ones with the white bag, the purple-looking paint on it.
Don't screw up the pads. Can't screw up pads.
There's like 15 boxes.
There's a lot of pads. Anytime I got to buy pads, it's always, we sure? We sure? Let's FaceTime this one. Let's make sure we're getting the right thing.
Well, and then my Fred Meyer has terrible service, so FaceTiming doesn't work half the time.
There is no service in that Freddy's.
None
at all.
And
I don't know
get
what
on the
it is.
Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi sucks.
I'm not getting on your Fred Meyer Wi-Fi to call somebody. I'm not going through that hoop. Get some signals at work.
And then I don't think you know this. Maybe you do. There are numbers on these pads. There's 5s and there's 3s and there's 2s and 1s and 4s.
This is all above my pay grade.
I'm like, what number do you need? Well, what do you mean? I go, well, there's 1 through 5. 1 seems to be smaller with wings, and 5 seems to be larger with wings.
A little bit thicker, can withstand a little bit more damage.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it means, but I don't know.
I think it's actual size of groin area.
Oh,
because it's actual size of pad. It's not like thickness of.
Are we going like
absorption.
fingers here? Are we going inches? Are we going?
It doesn't tell you on the box. It just shows you where it's at on the size meter.
I'm confused.
So I bought 3s with wings.
Was the 3s the right one? You get the right number?
I take them out, and the daughter goes, "Oh, the cheap ones, huh?"
Oh,
and I went,
ouch.
I literally asked you 3 times.
This is not my fault. You can't criticize me for this.
And then I told the wife this, and she goes, "Why didn't you just get the ones you'd usually get?" I go, I couldn't remember.
I grabbed a box, and I happened to grab
She goes,
the right
the
box.
organic ones you got the compliment on? I'm like, I guess,
what?
yeah.
Do they want organic ones? Do the organic ones work as good as the non-organic? I feel like the absorb factor wouldn't be as good.
I think there's less chemicals or smelling. I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm sure that's good, but the chemicals and the smelling, I mean, they got to serve some purpose.
My wife sent me a picture of the box in the text, and then I can go down the aisle and just match it.
I feel like even when that happens to me, I still screw it up, or I can't find it, and then I'm like looking in the aisle, and I'm like, I swear to God, I've stared at this aisle for 10 minutes, and I can't see this box.
I was the only guy.
It's not my fault.
And person on that aisle. And I'm just sitting there staring at pads, and women are walking past, like
grabbing what they need.
No, just staring at me, like I wonder what this guy's doing.
What's this creeper doing? What are you buying pads for over there, buddy?
Do I get 4s?
What do you do on the weekends, man? What kind of weird stuff are you into?
And it's just like I'm so glad. This is one of those, like, I don't have to worry about this.
No pads needed here.
Thank the big guy. Like, I don't know about 1s and 5s and 4s and 3s.
Nothing to worry about here.
It's just one of those things I've never thought about ever. And here I am debating, what number should I get?
Nothing more helpless as I'm assuming father, but I know as a husband than that moment when you need to pick something up. And it's vitally important for their, happiness and joy in life and getting through the day. And you screw it up, then all of a sudden you're turning around, you're going right back to where you started.
But I made up for it when I got home. Me and the youngest played a ton of Mario on our Switch.
There you go. It's a good thing to do on a rainy
day. Beat a lot
day.
of levels, died a lot. She saw the video game version of me, which doesn't happen very often.
Competitive juices start flowing.
Oh, dude. When I was losing levels, I was like,
did a controller get throne, maybe.
Elbows tossing around the living
A
room.
lot of F-bombs going on, like to the point where she laughed so hard she had to put herself under a blanket because she didn't want to piss me off
Damn
laughing.
it! You're just yelling left and
I was like,
right.
let's play again. She's like, no, we can't beat it. I'm like, we're going to beat it.
We're going to do it.
Play it.
Damn
Hit
it.
continue. And we'd beat it.
Try again.
We'd high five. So this had that going
As
for
long as
us.
you don't have to look up like cheat codes to get through the level, you're all right. You'll find your way through it. It's not much worse than a combination of bad weather and sickness in the house on a day off. That's a double whammy that you just can't overcome.
Yeah, I know.
Kills the entire thing.
Had a good day with the kids, but it wasn't quite the day, I think, originally when I thought about taking it off. I had set out to have.
This looks, this would be nice. 3-day weekend, we'll do something fun, and then you're like, dude, it's not going to stop raining all day, is it?
Right.
Nope, it's just going to rain
Yeah,
all day.
we canceled the zoo trip for you, the first segment of the show.
Oh,
yeah,
did
we're like,
you?
there's
Yeah.
no chance this is happening. I pulled up the weather app, and I'm like, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, every hour of the day of rain. I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not a fun
We
zoo trip.
speculated maybe a movie,
Yeah.
but
I would have done a movie, but all it's out is that Steph Curry goat movie. I don't want to see that in theaters.
oh, okay.
He's
I'm
got
not wasting money on
You
that.
already saw.
He's got a goat
Zootopia
movie
too,
out.
so,
Steph Curry's got a goat movie.
It's like an animated animals are humans version.
Ah, okay.
some sort of animated Air Bud sort of.
He's
type
like
of
an underdog,
thing.
small goat kid, because Steph Curry, the child of an NBA player, is a big
Yes.
underdog in his
The
life.
big
little
underdog.
engine that could.
Nobody ever thought he could do it.
Overcame all those obstacles of
Went to
growing up to an
Davidson
NBA
with,
father.
he had a jersey that was 3 sizes too big at
Yeah.
Davidson.
Yeah.
He didn't grow to 6'3" until he was about 20 years old. It's been
No.
hard for him.
It's not easy to make it in the NBA at 6'3".
But he made a kids movie, and it's basically about a goat who goes against the tall guys, and they doubt him. And
We're choosing a goat there, Steph, huh?
Yeah. Was going against thoroughbreds or something.
if LeBron did that,
He
we
would get killed.
kill him.
He
for
would
that.
get killed for that.
really?
Oh, the goat?
LeBron? You're the goat.
I mean, you're the goat of shooting.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's
haven't seen
it.
the movie. I have no idea what it's about.
I'm going to criticize the animal without even seeing the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do it. Really? That's a ballsy play right there. Just choosing a goat. All right. There's a lot of small animals that you could choose to get your point across. A lot of undersized animals that you could pick from. Goat, you're sending a message right there.
If there was any other kids movie out, we probably would have done the movie. The movie's a
Yeah.
good guess for me
Yeah.
when the weather's bad, but there was just
yeah.
there was nothing out there. And then when I get in the
I
car,
know.
I hear the most egregious thing I think I've ever heard.
oh no.
I get in the car and I hear, "Yeah, I watch my TV with headphones on." And I'm like, "What?"
Who would have said that? Who does something like that?
My co-host.
Yeah, I do that early in the morning if I got to stay up or get up and watch something. I'm not turning the sound on.
So you wear headphones when you watch television?
Bluetooth headphones, it's delightful. One, I'm deaf, so I can't hear anything. But it's only in certain spots. Like if it's the middle of the day, I'm not putting headphones on to watch.
Can you paint a picture? What are you watching where you need to hear it, but you don't want your family to hear
Gold
it?
medal game, 5:00 in the morning on a Sunday morning. I don't want to wake the entire house up.
You want
I'm
some
not turning the volume
atmosphere
up.
with that, and if you're
that thing was rocking in my headphones, and it was
trying not
fantastic.
to wake up a sleeping youngster, and yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched TV with headphones, Swag?
I did when Paxton was about the same age. Yes, I had Bluetooth headphones.
We had that capability.
Yeah,
That's news to me. I didn't realize it existed that long
Bluetooth
ago.
headphones could connect to televisions when your 30-year-old child was like 1 or 2.
no, this was 20 years ago, not 30.
Did we have? I'm not kidding. Did we have the capability for
yeah,
headphones
there was
to connect
something
to
because I
televisions?
remember having wireless headphones.
You rich hoity-toity Lako. Are you unbelievable? 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Bet you had a curved
Bluetooth
TV. too.
headphones first appeared in 1999.
How about that?
Yeah, as headsets to mobile phones, that's how they started. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
later released in 2004-ish is when you could buy actual headphones.
Did you
Yeah.
have a car phone? You strike me as car phone guy. Hey,
I always
Jason
wanted a car
here.
phone. Car
No.
phone would have been so cool back in the day.
I
Did
still
not
think
have
it'd be
a car
cool
phone.
now.
Yeah.
Like a real phone.
Like pick it up.
Like a
actually,
Richie Rich phone.
Yeah, it's connected to the wire
It's
and all
almost like
that.
a
But I
landline
remember
phone.
my
Delightful.
dad had he had an old, he got a mobile phone that was like the old brick.
The brick ones, yeah. My mom had one.
Because
for a
when he
minute.
came up to my college graduation, stepmom was pregnant with my little sister like 8.5 months. Like he
had to be ready
had
to
a
go.
train ticket ready to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back
yeah,
at
yeah.
a moment's
Any time,
notice.
yeah.
But that was what it was. So that was what 1993.
Okay, so
Wild.
this is what I don't remember about the brick phone era is how
They
did
were-
the payment work? because my mom had it for like a month, and then she lost it. I go, what happened to your cellular phone? And she goes, she didn't really get into.
We didn't pay the bill.
I
was
don't
a
know
child.
if it was, I
sending
don't
one of
know
those
if-
bad boys in.
I don't think there was like a monthly plan. I think it was more like you paid
Per
minute. And
Oh,
it was
that's okay. Then that's
butt-ass
definitely why she
expensive.
quit.
Yeah.
you get
She
you get
wasn't-
the bill at the end of the month, and
Yeah.
you were on the phone for
So
X
you
amount
probably
of
had
minutes.
like
you got paid for
a
it.
basic activation fee for something,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
but then you paid per minute of time.
She
that
had
you
it for
used.
1 month and it was gone. I'm like, where's your brick?
What
Yeah.
happened to the brick phone?
Bring
that thing back.
life. I was like, oh, okay, great.
That thing
description.
was heavy too, man.
I guess I
Dude, they weigh like 20 pounds.
what I would say is I think a lot of people have probably done what you were saying you do.
I'm a huge fan of the Bluetooth TV.
I'm not against
I do it all the time.
I guess you just threw me off hearing
All the
that
time.
because my house has there's the 2-story or a
Yeah.
garage, so I can go to an area.
Yeah, I don't have an area to go. I mean, I could go out to my man cave and watch out there, but I'm not going out there at 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I'm in PJs, I'm laying on the couch in a blanket.
I'm surprised you didn't want to go to the man
And you
cave.
turn it up as loud as you want in your headphones. You don't bother a soul. The sound quality is great. You don't understand how.
You have to be looking weird though, right? Like if somebody sees you and just
Oh, just sitting in
there
my
with your
living room. I
headphones
do it a
on,
lot of
what are you
time at
doing?
night too, where I'm just like sitting down. The wife wants to go to bed, the kids in bed, and I'm like, I want to watch something and like a TV show. I have to turn it up so loud to be able to hear everything and follow what is being said.
Amen.
That the volume is now
Yeah.
way too loud
So
for
the
everybody.
headphones is the way to
And
go.
so I Bluetooth connect the headphones, and the sound quality is 10 out of 10. It's
Yeah.
perfect, and it's right in my ears, and I can hear everything. It's delightful.
that threw me through a loop, man.
Yeah.
You just said that in passing to Patrick, and I'm like, is Patrick co-hosting today? He's watching television with Bluetooth? What's
Yeah.
going on?
But you got to get up at 5 a.m. for a hockey game, man. I want that ice sound. I want those sticks hitting the puck. I want it hitting in my ears, not over the speaker, not on the Bose speaker.
I got up Sunday because my soccer team played on Sunday morning, but I had the hockey on, and
We did. We
I'm
took
in a
it-
garage so I could hear it.
We took a bet on, did you know the hockey game started at 5 a.m., or did you wake up to watch soccer and then realize the hockey game was on?
Well, first of all, I was the first one to text in the group chat. Dude,
You
during
were.
the gold medal game.
You
Yes.
were.
Okay. Second
Actually,
of
no,
all,
you weren't. I was.
no way.
Yes, I was.
No way.
Fact check it. I sent a text.
I
In all
was
caps,
sound
I sent a
asleep.
shoot the puck, and nobody responded for 40 minutes, I think. And then you
Hold
said,
up.
good little game so far. And it was after 6 a.m., which led me to think that you woke up to watch your soccer
Oh,
team.
shoot the effing puck.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Hell of a
Yeah.
start. Pucker meter is at a 9.4.
Yes.
That stayed at that the whole game.
The whole game it did. yeah.
I
yeah.
watched it on replay because I didn't get home until 1 a.m.
Sure you did, Riggins. Sure you rewatched
We're not
it.
Oh,
buying
I
it.
rewatched the whole thing.
Dodgers Game 7 replay.
His wife ruined it for him, too, before he turned it on,
Yeah.
so he knew the outcome of
Well,
the
we
game.
probably ruined it for him
No,
with our
because
text.
I got up. Dusty called, woke me up. Something was up. I needed to go fix something. Okay, let me do that. So then I'm sitting there, and then I see there's like 14 texts between you
so
two.
you're like, don't read.
And I'm like, okay, it's going to be a good game or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't read it.
Sure.
And then I asked my wife, do you want to watch the game? And she's like, well, I don't know how long. It's like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours, depending on.
Woman, we're watching. Shut up.
Sit down. We're watching hockey. It's
Why
a
even
gold
ask
medal
the
game.
question? Just
And
turn it
so
on.
she was just, and then nonchalantly, well, I know US won, so probably not. And I was like, oh my goodness.
This is why you don't ask. You just do it. You just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, it's tough.
I woke
And I
up.
look, and she's like, you always know what happened. I'm like, the game was started at 5 a.m. I was sound asleep.
In fairness to her, she is right. Like, you always know what's
Yeah.
happening, and so
And she's like, how would I
slight
know?
defense.
Yeah, how would I know when the game? And
Future reference, gold medal game, USA Canada. Don't tell me what the final result is
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
you know that I've watched.
Well, I was still-
100%
the game.
certain that
I was
don't
still
know.
half asleep, so
I mean, it was a great game.
I still watched it. But yeah,
Yeah.
there was a little bit of that edge, that uncertainty factor that gets you just, on the edge of your couch. That wasn't there.
knowing your team won a World Series in the craziest Game 7 ever, and going back to rewatch doesn't hit the same as seeing it live.
Somebody's
you know
going to
what
hit a home run here in the ninth inning. They're at the
Right.
bottom of the lineup. I don't think anybody
I mean?
can
It's
do it.
not a
but I
guy
don't.
that I'd ever guess.
Somebody's going. I can't even remember who hit the home run.
right.
Can't even tell you.
Pages.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
Right. Swag. Who was it?
Never heard of him before.
What?
Who hit the home run in the ninth inning to tie the game?
Oh, it was Rojas.
Rojas. Danny Rojas.
I'll take your word for it.
Ted Lasso.
Miguel
Great.
Rojas.
Right. I woke up because I wanted to watch the hockey game.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
worked out, and I knew my soccer team was going to play at 6.
Well, I
so
know you and Patrick talked about Friday getting up at 6 a.m. to watch your soccer team.
I canceled that because I forgot he was doing the timber thing.
Oh.
I'm like, you're not going to do the timber game and want to wake up and be at the station at
Oh, that's right. You guys were
5:50.
going to come in and watch the game in here.
It's a middle ground place, and we got a TV, and
you're
we have to
gonna
be at a
watch.
bar. He was going to try to break into a bar or something.
I know people. We'll get
I
in.
got keys. I'm like, no. We just meet up on the couch.
I'll
just
go behind the
coffee
bar.
around.
I'll make the cocktails.
Yeah.
I got you. We'll be okay, Sprague. Trust me.
I'm not drinking right now. There's a whole thing. We just meet up at work.
6 a.m. in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, so I canceled that.
Hey, at least he had multiple things going on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I watched it from start to finish.
It's a delightful game.
It was a great game. I don't think there's anything to talk about. You probably exhausted the living hell out of it yesterday.
Yeah, we did about 2 hours on it. Yeah.
Oh,
about
really?
Half the show
Yeah,
was on
half the
Team
show
USA.
was that game.
Yeah.
Really?
We did the whole first hour,
Wow.
the 8 a.m. hour,
Most of
check
the
back
8 a.m.
into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We milked that thing for all it was worth yesterday. It
Did
was
you do
glorious.
all the elements of that game?
Every element? Well,
Post
not
game
all of
locker
it.
room audio?
I'm not doing that, dude. I'm not doing that.
What do you mean?
I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing
All
things
right.
to rob me of enjoying sports. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm not going to be one of those Americans. I've waited my entire life to see a gold medal game. I saw a gold medal game. Team USA won,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters to
You
me.
got it, baby.
That's all I wanted.
You weren't alive for the last
Just
one.
like half the country who rooted against Team USA basketball when they're in France instead of just enjoying the moment. Can I just have sports in my life again?
No.
Is that possible?
No,
Just
shut
to
up and dribble.
Watch a game and enjoy the game and then turn the game off and then say that was fun?
Are we all equally outraged about shut up and dribble now, or does that just apply to one side?
I don't. I'm
No?
so tired.
Okay, all
I am
right.
so tired.
Well, we won't get into that today. I would have thought you got into it.
No, I'm not talking about that.
It is a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get your Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326. We get to the Mail Sack in the 9 a.m. hour. I'm excited. We have a guest at 7:30 a.m. today. Benjamin Robinson, super big analytical nerd, covers the NFL draft, and his website is glorious, Grinding the Mocks.
Grinding the mocks.
That is a sexual website if I've ever heard one.
You got to grind the mocks. Let's grind the mocks.
So we'll talk with him at 7:30 today. It's a loaded show. There's a lot to get to. Dirt and Sprague. Let's get it going. 105.1 The Fan. Bit of local news came out, I think, yesterday after the program. We can talk about that in regards to college football, the future of the Civil War.
Oh, it's in jeopardy.
Uh-oh.
It's in
Who could've
jeopardy.
seen that coming? So I don't want to. You said you did an hour and a half on the hockey game.
If you want to do more, buddy, you come on in. The water's warm.
Well,
we're in the hot tub right now. You want to come join in? Saddle in.
I feel like actually the jets have turned off, and it's getting like your
all right.
body's
I'll go reset the timer.
I'll
go reset the jet timer.
and-
Don't worry. Go sit in front of that big one right over there. Come sit down. It's nice.
I would say he's getting into the hot tub. Feels good for me, but it's got to be lukewarm for you at this point.
My
Now,
fingers are all crinkly
You
at
don't
this
care.
point.
Yeah.
Somebody fill me up another cocktail, all right? I need another cocktail in here.
that being said, I have a Fallout thing. I don't actually have anything on the game.
Sure.
I have two things from the game that I just wanted to run by you
What do you got?
because you're the big hockey guy.
Big hockey guy.
One, why is Canada being such a bitch? And two, why is Canada a bitch? I didn't see this
They're
until
not used to this, man. They're not used to losing.
McKinnon just like, the best team. Like, you didn't win. So I don't know what to tell you there.
No, you did not win.
And the Canadian coach, old, balls himself,
John Cooper.
John
Is that the
Cooper.
name you're looking for?
Cooper.
Yes.
he's like, 3-on-3 is an atrocity to hockey. Should never end that way.
I love he's French
Would
now.
you say, some of them are.
They are. That is true.
You
Would you
needed
say
it to win
this?
your quarterfinal game.
Would
Yeah.
you say this if your team had won the gold in that fashion? I don't think you would, John Cooper.
Look, they're not used to this. First off, so
No,
that's
I think they're
they don't know
just
how to handle it.
Flat out stunned.
Yeah, and we can. Both comments are easy to make fun of, and I'm right there with people in making fun of them. Both comments are actually true, though. Like, Canada was the better team; they just didn't win. That's the beauty of sports. The better team doesn't always win, and 3-on-3 is not real hockey. Now, both teams are playing by the same rules, so they had every chance to win it in 3-on-3. That the United States did, and they had multiple chances before the United States won it. I understand both sentiments. They also have played the United States every time there's been a something on the line Olympic game with NHL players. They've won every time. Every time that we've played them. Gold medal game in 2010, semis here, gold medal game in 2002. Like, I think the United States was 0-6 in those situations against Canada all time.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody watching the game, like the edge of your seat nature of it was taken away from Sprague. We all thought the same thing watching the game. They're gonna do this. Like, they dominated the game for 80% of it, scoring chances, possession time in the offensive zone. Like, it was all, like, United States, I think, for the first 15 minutes of the third period had one shot on goal. They were just holding on for dear life, and they had a great goalie, and that's the beauty of hockey. You can win a game that way. So I think they were just shocked of, one, it actually happened. Two, oh my God, we kind of outplayed them and then still lost. It wasn't like we just dribbled it down our leg. And they're lashing out irrationally. So that's where I think it's coming from, is the shock and awe of the factor that they finally lost the United States.
Well, McKinnon missed a shot that I think if you gave him 100 shots, he hits 98 times.
You give him 1,000, he makes 999.
Seriously, like to go left of the goalpost the way he did on that
Doesn't
open
make
net
sense.
was crazy.
Does not make sense.
So I think there's a way to be like, okay, I watched the game. I don't know much about hockey. If you said Sprague, who looked better most of the game, I would have said Canada.
Yeah.
But we need to be the ones saying that, not them.
You guys
I
are the
thought
better team
Canada
than
had
we still
class. I thought they were the classy high road people who are just nice to everybody. That was not that was very I've never experienced a setback in my entire life. Oh my God, a setback.
Yeah.
And that's what my
their
takeaway
sport.
from that was. Yeah, it is, but also
This is all they got, man.
who's won the Stanley Cups, though, you know
So,
what I mean?
I mean, United States, we also have significantly more teams,
matter.
largely led by Canadian
Get
players.
you one of these, Canada. It's been a minute.
I digress.
But my point is just I was just surprised that they were willing to say that on the record versus saying what,
yeah.
hey,
it's not great in the moment,
kudos
but
to them and
yeah.
all that. We thought we played well enough. We didn't. They won. There we go.
That's the way it goes.
But it was like, we're a better team. 3-on-3 sucks. Like, okay.
How do you think we would react? Because when was the last time we didn't win a gold medal in basketball? 2004 was the last
Yeah.
time, so it's been 22 years.
It's been 22 years.
So we'll have
And
another
before
shot.
That, it hadn't happened since before the pros played.
Right, because once the pros came in 1990, they just dominated every time. So we've had one time where we haven't won it.
Yeah.
I don't remember, how did we react when we lost? Did we say anything internationally that was
We
embarrassing?
crushed our own players.
We killed our. I know that we did
Yeah.
that locally, but did the players or coaches come
No.
out with anything of that level? Because I don't remember.
I think they
that.
just blamed each other.
Okay, so they just threw
I don't
each
think
other
they were
under
like,
the
we're
bus.
a better team, because they clearly weren't.
No, they weren't.
They had baby Braun D. Wade
Yeah.
with a mix of Allen Iverson and guy. Go look at the 2004 U.S. men's basketball team. Past the second-year guys, go tell me who the vets on that team were, because I'm. Maybe it was because of what was going on off the court. I can't remember why Kobe didn't play. Maybe that was the off the court.
Your
Eagle
team
County.
was Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury,
Yeah, I
Dwayne
mean-
Wade, Carlos Boozer, Carmelo Anthony,
Yeah.
LeBron, Emeka Okafor, shout out, Sean Marion,
Yep.
Amari Stoudemire, Tim Duncan, Lamar Odom, and Richard Jefferson.
Right.
That was your team.
That's kind of an odd bunch with second-year.
It's a very random
players.
group with Larry Brown as the head coach, Greg
Yep.
Popovich, Roy Williams, and Oliver Purnell as the assistant coaches.
God, where was Duncan to save us in that one?
Where was that? That should be a stain on his legacy. He was on that team.
But I think to your point, though, like there wasn't any of this.
I didn't
reaction.
remember.
They
I
also
was
were
just asking,
bronze.
yeah.
They weren't silver in an overtime
Sure.
loss.
Sure.
That's a much different loss. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's a
mean?
much more embarrassing loss because they
Right.
were one shot away from winning the gold medal, and the United
Yeah.
States was not that. Yeah, I don't. It was embarrassing on their part, but I also think, look, it also simultaneously, why I don't want to talk about this stuff. It's also impossible to not talk about this stuff. That I think this is very personal to them because they take the 51st state thing very seriously. Like
As they should. It's ridiculous.
It's a question on their sovereignty. And
Yeah.
so when it's that country that's beating you on top of it, I think that's also an incredible amount of salt in the wound. Whereas if they had lost to, Finland in the semifinals
Swedes or something, yeah.
right, in overtime in the semis, I
You
think
don't
they're
think
coming
they
out.
react the same way?
I think they're coming out and saying 3-on-3 is dumb because 3-on-3 is dumb and we shouldn't decide hockey games in overtime in 3-on-3. And I said that after the United States won a game, and I'll say it again after winning the gold medal. Play 5-on-5 hockey for 20 minutes, and if you want to go to a shootout, you can. I just hate going to 3-on-3 because it's not traditional real hockey.
So you think the politics added to it?
I absolutely think it did. Yeah, man. That's like if somebody was questioning our sovereignty and then they beat us in a sport, if the Soviet Union was doing that to us and then beating us in a sport, it would hurt a little bit more, would it not?
I just was surprised they did that.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised because both takes
I don't
were-
know anything about McKinnon, though, either.
Yeah, I have a weird balance of it's sour grapes,
But you agree with them.
but both of them
Yeah.
are right.
I mean,
They are the
Canada
better
outplayed
team.
us, but
They are they just didn't win. That's the beauty of sports.
Right.
The better team doesn't always win.
the only one that bothers me is the overtime one, because you can think that overtime is dumb.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I just don't think he is saying that if they win it.
Well, the irony of the 3-on-3 overtime thing is it benefits Canada significantly more than it benefits the United States because of the skill that they can put on the ice.
Oh,
in
I
a
assumed
3-on-3
we were
lineup.
losing when it went to overtime.
Like they're just gonna are you kidding me? They're
Right.
gonna have 3 MVPs out there in their lineup. Okay,
Right.
good luck. Like that's like
Yeah.
LeBron in his prime, KD in his prime, and Steph in his prime being the 3-man lineup for a basketball game and then losing to.
Give me three that are equivalent to
Right,
you.
God, Evan Fournier.
Evan Fournier?
I'm just trying to think of France. Nick Batum and then Wemby. So I'll give you one guy.
Okay.
And you're like, wait, but we had 3. They only had. How did that happen?
But it's just one basket to
It's
win.
one basket that wins, and they got a rebound and then took it the other way.
Fournier
And,
from half court.
they won the game. What? We were the better team.
All right. There's my only leftover U.S.-Canada gold medal hockey thing I got.
I mean, it's going to be great for the rivalry. It's already a great rivalry, and now you add this on top of it, where
Yeah.
the comments are coming out after the game, and so 4 years from now can't get here soon enough, man. It's going
Did
to be
you
awesome.
see, I think it was the kid who won the game, Hughes?
Yeah.
I believe he was filmed making out with a cougar.
Whoa, where?
One of
After the
bars,
game?
when they got back.
Good for him, dude.
Like a real cougar.
Like an actual cougar.
I think, yeah. Silver
Straight
hair.
out of the wilderness.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well done.
This kid doesn't care about anything, man. He's just enjoying his life.
I'm wondering if she's playing around with that jagged tooth that he's got
Oh.
that he lost.
Terrible. That's terrible.
Test out those lines right there.
Just go back to playing. No big deal. My teeth are on the
I
ice.
just saw the pallets of Michelob Ultra being loaded onto their party bus in Miami.
There was some really funny videos. One of them where they're sitting at the press conference afterwards, and one of the guys, there was a camera on him. He leaned over to somebody behind I can't remember who it was, and he just pointed at his beer and did the universal. Another one.
You need another one?
I need another
At
one.
the press conference.
Keep them coming.
I assume they're still hammered.
Keep them
Probably.
coming.
Don't expect him to be
NHL
on the,
teams, by the way, you ready for the next controversy?
They
NHL
play like tomorrow.
NHL teams are pissed because they're going to the State of the Union tonight. They were invited and they accepted the invitation, and a lot of guys are going to be late coming back to their team and getting ready to play in the second half. So owners already didn't want guys in the Olympics because they could get hurt and it could risk the rest of the season, and now they're going to be late back to start the second half of the year.
I mean, you're going to have to wait a week. 1 week, you're going to lose a couple games, and then everybody's back to normal.
It's going to happen.
A lot more to get into. 6:31 back with more, but first, Swag with the sports update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers with a quick stop at Moda Center tonight before they head out on a 5-game Eastern Conference road trip. The Timberwolves invade Moda Center tonight, 7 o'clock tip on the Peacock Network. Denny Avdia is out, resting his troublesome back. Naz Reid, questionable from Minnesota with a right shoulder issue. T-Wolves are 6.5-point favorites. As Oregon State gets settled into the reinvented Pac-12, Beavers athletic director Scott Barnes telling the Oregonian the soonest the Civil War rivalry with Oregon would resume is 2028. And the hope is a 4-year home-and-home series would be agreed to in the near future. NFL announcing the Detroit Lions will serve as the designated home team for the international game in Munich, Germany in 2026. Date of that game will be announced later this spring with the release of the full season schedule. Portland Fire are still awaiting rules to be announced for the expansion draft in their inaugural season. The WNBA setting a March 10th deadline to get a new CBA done with the Players Association in order for the season to start on time, May 8th. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday. 1080 AM.
Fan Madness is back. Join the Fan Thursday, March 19th and Friday, March 20th for the two most exciting days of basketball at Tom's Watch Bar at A Casino in Ridgefield. We'll be out there, the firm of Harrison Meringue. Happy Hour with Luke will be out there. Primetime with Isaac and Suk, all broadcasting live throughout the day. Don't miss a minute of the action. Play hooky with the Fan for Fan Madness, brought to you by A and Window Nation, March 19th and 20th at A Casino and Resort. Did you get into the Blazers' 54-point loss to the Nugs?
We did. The 50-point, and then Denny Avdia got hurt again this weekend, so we got that going for us.
So annoying.
Yeah, out of the lineup again.
We're just never going to see Denny, Scoot, Shea, Klingon, and Tamani, are we?
Nope. 1 minute in, too.
I know.
Yeah,
After a
59
54-point loss.
I know. It's nuts.
Was Chauncey back coaching the team on Friday?
So
That was a Chauncey special right there.
I was at my family's house, and we were doing like a game or movie night. We didn't know, but there's this new Brendan Fraser movie called Rental Family out.
Is he having a run again? Is he back?
Oh, dude,
I remember The Whale being a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah.
Is he now? We're back to Brendan Fraser full
If
on.
Brendan Fraser's in a movie now, go watch the movie. It's
Okay.
going to be a good movie, legitimately.
Are we getting another Mummy out of him?
We are.
Are we really?
It's next May, I think they've announced it. It's
Let's
coming
go,
out.
dude.
The whole cast is
Everybody's
coming
back together.
That was alive, yeah. Anyways, we decided on the movie, but it was getting late. We had the Blazer Nugget game on, and we're watching that, and the family's like, we're never going to watch the movie if we're watching this game. And I go, if it's like 25 points at half, we'll turn this off. We'll watch the movie.
It was, yeah.
And it got to like 27 or 29 at the half, and I go, how about that, huh?
Turn it off.
We turned the game off. I have it on my ESPN app just to look at it, and you guys are texting about it, and I'm like, it's a 35-point game. Why are they watching this basketball game?
Oh, I wasn't.
I did the
saw-
opposite. I forgot the game started when it started and then turned the game
Yeah,
on
I
and
was up
realized
in
that they were. And I said,
Seattle.
what the hell? They're down by 30?
Oh, okay.
I
was not
went and
still
met a
watching the game.
friend up there, and I saw your text, and I'm like, what? And then I just responded to the score, and I'm like, okay. Well,
So
yeah.
there was these little quiet moments of the movie, and I turned to my brother-in-law, and I go, they're down 44. And it got to like 47. He goes, all right, man, I really don't need an update anymore.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we'll pass on the rest of the updates.
I
the rest
turned
of
and
the
went, final, they lost by 54.
night. 54 is a hell of a ball game right there.
I go, that's got to be a record. Oh, wait, no, they lost by 60 twice in a season.
They did,
Never
yeah.
mind.
And I don't know if I've ever seen a team give up 158?
157.
157 to 77 the next game. Make that make sense.
Just insane. Well, I mean, Phoenix
Sure, Phoenix sucks
had
and
a
their guys
double
are out.
overtime
And,
game the day before that.
when two of their best players aren't playing, so I certainly get it, but just hilarious to see those finals next to each other
Right.
on the team schedule. You gave up 157 and then 77?
Yeah.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I have no expectation or know what to expect from the Blazers going forward, given their
Not on
injury
a night-to-night
situations.
basis.
Yeah, we talked about Denny at length yesterday of just how do you handle it? What's the
It's a
right
back.
move? It's not going
You
to get
can't
any
handle
better.
it. It has to be. It has to just work itself out.
Yeah, so it's either you're playing him every night and you just don't know what you're going to get, or you shut him down for a while. You got
Well,
two
he's
roads
listed
you can
as
go down.
out tonight on the official injury.
Well, it's going to
out.
game to game. It's going to be
Yeah, I know.
questionable,
Yeah.
doubtful, out. Like that's just what. Or he'll play and then
How much of him wanting to get to? How many games has he played this year? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't.
Because you got to get to what's the threshold for awards?
65.
65.
I think it's 65.
He has played.
It's either 63 or 65.
48 games.
Yeah,
So you got what? 25 left. 24
because
left?
he'll make All NBA if he plays.
Yeah, if he gets to
He'll
the
make
threshold.
third team All NBA.
And that's a big deal, financially
Yeah.
speaking, and the ramifications contractually
extension.
and the extension stuff.
They
So
have 24 games left.
So he's got to play what? 17 of 24 games.
I mean, he gives you what 5 games you could just sit out, let their back rest.
Yeah.
My takeaway.
Then the worry is you
Well, that's
tweak it
the-
again. Then when you
Sure.
come back, then all right, you
Yeah.
sat down for a week, and then
Well,
you're
now
back.
they're
and then,
going on a road trip, so I mean, you want them on airplanes and all that.
He's with them. He's with them at every stop. I'm assuming.
Aren't they
They're not sending
Minnesota
him
home tonight?
They are at home
Minnesota
tonight,
at
and then they
home,
go on
and
the
then they
road.
leave on a
road.
5-game road
Yeah.
trip.
So I'm a little confused on something else that maybe you guys dabbled in. I'm assuming Dirt did. I'm sorry if I'm, overstepping on Monday's show.
No.
What are we doing with Scoot? He's off the minutes restriction, so what
Yes.
are we doing with that?
Played 30 minutes against Phoenix on Sunday, which was nice to see, but he's not in the starting lineup. So I think
Is there any reason?
that he's not in the starting lineup?
Yeah.
And we got Drew Holiday on the team. That's why, Brandon. Got to start Drew Holiday. He's earned it. He's a veteran.
We can't start
No.
Scoot and Drew Holiday.
You can't bring Drew Holiday off the
They
bench.
play literally together all the time.
You can't do that.
Actually, pretty good together.
I'm imagining that will be the starting lineup tonight in all seriousness because
Denny's not in.
I actually missed the start of the game. So who did they bring in when Denny went down? Did you see right out of the gate? I turned it on like 5 minutes in and saw that Denny was hurt. Was it Matisse?
Matisse got some run.
I know that he got run, but I'm assuming the starting lineup tonight will be Scoot and Drew. I don't know who else you would put in. Shaden's still out.
No, I think he starts.
Denny's out, so I'm assuming he's in the starting lineup. So
yeah,
maybe that'll solve it. But yeah, and to the larger point,
Chris Murray came back.
I agree with the argument overall that you were making.
I just what we need to have a conference call here, Joe. You need to get on the horn with Tiago and say, look, Tiago, we kind of need to know, and the bench thing is not cute anymore. We need to stop doing. He needs to start the rest of the season. He is starting, and if it doesn't work. Yeah, we'll have to evaluate going into next year. But
move him. We got other point guards.
We need a sample size here, dude. And I know he's got minutes to speak of. But
he played more than Drew the other night, I think.
In the Denver game?
No, in the Phoenix game, even though he came off the bench for the minutes. That
game, they kind of handled that game.
And Drew was terrible, to be fair. Scoot didn't do much, but Drew was awful that night.
Well, what's happening with Drew that I don't know if anybody's taught is he's being overextended.
Yes, because he shouldn't be.
We're asking him to do way too much. He cannot do what we're asking him to do at this age of his career.
No.
And so seeing him have a great game and then seeing it followed up by a not-so-great game is not shocking to me.
No, he should be a guy who's out there to play defense, get you a bucket every now and then, be a good leader. Like that, those are the things that you're looking for, not as a guy who's a driver of your offense night in and night out. That's too much to ask of him at this point in his career. He played 29 and Scoot played 30 the other night.
Mm-hmm. In the Phoenix game?
In the Phoenix game, so he ended up playing more minutes, but I'll reiterate, and we talked about it yesterday. It's to me, if you're looking for an opportunity here with Denny being out, you never want to see somebody go down. It is Scoot. You're going to need Scoot to play big minutes.
For Avdia.
Okay, so he was the first one off the bench. Okay.
Why can Scoot and Avdia not play? Why can't you start both of them with Drew and Tamani and Donovan?
Because Jeremy's got to be in the starting lineup.
No, he doesn't.
He's a vet.
No,
Brandon.
He doesn't.
He's earned it. He's been there. He knows.
He's had a lot of bad games this year, by the way.
That he has.
Just coming out the gate, super on fire. People in our face saying we don't know what we're talking about, and then he just stumbles a little bit, don't hear anything from him.
Yeah, they quieted up pretty quickly. I would love to see Scoot in the starting lineup tonight. I'm assuming that he would be. The next big question will be when Shaden comes back, if he is back.
Boy, that update hasn't been great either.
Nope, he's out for, it's a calf.
They don't want to mess with calf injuries.
No, you don't want a guy who will pop Achilles, then you're out all next year. So you got to be super. They're in a very, this Denny thing threw another curveball at their season where they're going to be in the plan because everybody behind them is terrible.
It's a weird season.
There's 20-something games to go. You don't know how long Denny's going to be out, and you don't know how long Shaden's going to be out. I'm not arguing.
But you're going to be in the play-in.
Oh, you are. You're on 9. You're 9 now. You jumped the Clippers.
Yeah, you are.
You're 6 games back to Memphis.
What are the priorities as an organization of?
You mean up on Memphis?
Pushing guys through injuries, I guess, the rest of the way. Is my $1 million
I don't think they're going to push guys because I think they can win random Phoenix games.
Oh, the schedule's terrible, too.
Yeah,
they can beat a lot of teams. Denny played 1 minute. You dominated Phoenix the other night. They didn't have guys.
Donovan will dominate teams without a really strong center, and then he'll play a good center and get his butt whooped. It's kind of what it is.
I'm going to be really curious the rest of the year to see how cautious they are. The Denny thing has not gone great. He continues to get re-injured every 10 days, it feels like, and he misses a chunk, and so now we'll see how long he's out for. The Shaden stuff we're getting no updates on, so are you really going to play him the rest?
They're just listing him as out. What updates do you want?
That they're going to be super cautious, and so how many games are they going to miss? The end of the year is going to be interesting to me to watch the rest of the way because 2 of your best players are hurt, but we know you're still in the play-in because the bottom of the West is worse than what you are right now.
You imagine being in a play-in against the Clippers and Denny's out?
Yeah. At least we keep that pick because if we make the playoffs, it goes to Chicago. We don't have a first-round pick this year.
They can't delay that one more year?
Not if it's because it conveys the second you're a playoff team. The second it's not lottery, it conveys.
Do we think they're going to be a playoff team?
I don't think they're going to win 2 play-in games.
I don't know if they can beat the Clippers if Kawhi's going to play.
Maybe you do on one random night, but I'm not going to pick you to win 2 games.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Probably not, depending on the health of the other rosters that you're playing.
We'll get to the local news that happened at the top of the hour. It is 6:46. Dirt and Sprague back with more on 105.1 The Fan.
a.m.
All right, a lot to get to in the second hour of the radio program. We'll talk a little NFL draft with Benjamin Robinson grinding the mocks. We will grind the mocks with him.
Combine week.
Combine week, yep.
Got your spandex ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Do you watch the spandex Olympics in spandex?
No.
Does
but
it make it more real at home? You're wearing your tights.
If we were doing a TV show, I would think during Combine week we'd have to do one of our shows.
It'd be pretty funny.
In the same spandex uniforms.
Dude, I look goofy. I would look so goofy in that.
I look so awful.
The folds of fat that are coming out of weird spots of those spandex. Nobody wants to see that.
I had a coach before I hit puberty. I was trying to play basketball, and I was really small, and he was like, Sprague, you should just wrestle. Your weight class, rare, you might have a good chance to wrestle.
Yeah.
And I go, I ain't wearing no singlet.
It's not happening, dude. I don't want cauliflower ear. I'm good.
He's like, what's the worst that's going to happen, Sprague? You little junk stuck in that singlet? You might win. It's like, nah, dude, I play basketball.
Could get a staph infection. Everybody wanted me to wrestle, too.
Did they really?
My dude, I was a tiny little kid. Like, that's exactly what wrestling coaches are looking for. I ain't doing that.
I always respected wrestlers. I'd see them. I'd sneak into the school early, and I'd always see one in trash bags running laps. Cutting weight, Sprague. I got to drop 7 in the next 5 hours. I'm like, good luck to you, man.
This is not healthy.
I'm down there just shooting jump shots by myself. Like, swish.
I got so much respect for wrestlers that I would never even entertain the idea of wrestling. That's how hard it looks and how much I don't want to do it. That's how much I respect wrestlers.
Backyard trampoline, WWF, fake wrestling?
By all means.
I'm in.
Off the top rope of the couch, and you're going onto the pillows on the floor and dropping at people's elbow. All about it.
I can wear basketball shorts and tell you to suck it. I don't got to be in a singlet to do that.
No.
But Combine Week is here. We'll talk with Benjamin Robinson coming up. I want to ask you a question that probably deserves more time than this. But so I was watching some NBA basketball last night, and the Spurs took care of business against the Detroit Pistons. Nice little game for Wemby and the Spurs.
It was a nice win on the road.
Had a certain edge to it that was
a little pushing and shoving towards the end. It was fun, man.
I think he's going to get not a lot, but I think there's going to be a certain segment of sports fan that he is slowly getting back. That dude in a big game will show up, and he will want to embarrass you.
I can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs.
Me too.
I'm at the point of the year now where it's like, can we just fast forward?
I know.
I know that the Spurs are good. I didn't need to see a win in Detroit. I still think Detroit's good.
That's a big win.
I'm not saying it's not a big. It's a big, huge. They've won 9 in a row. They went on the road. Detroit just dominated New York. What was that, last week in a road game after the break? So it certainly is an entertaining game. I just we know who the teams are. I'm ready for the playoffs to be here.
I'm going to ask you, who is the NBA MVP?
Ooh. Good question.
Jokic misses 2 more games. He can't be eligible.
It won't be Jokic.
He's the second biggest favorite.
But mathematically speaking, he's going to miss 2 more games, right? We would just guess in the last 24.
I don't know.
I know he doesn't load manage, but it takes one rolled ankle to show
they
up
just
and
lost
him
that
not play.
dumb game to the Warriors the other day.
They did. Luka's not going to play enough games. He still needs to play 21 games, 21 and 24, I think, for Luka, something along those lines.
These are your top 5.
SGA's still out, by the way.
SGA has I think 11 more games, so they're just slow playing that.
Yeah.
He's the favorite at minus 145.
Okay.
Jokic is second. Cade Cunningham is third.
Yeah.
Wemby's fourth, and Luka's fifth.
The guy that I think is getting a ton of disrespect, and not to just parrot another NBA player who said the same thing this weekend, but he said it, and I agreed completely with him. Jaylen Brown, to me, deserves a little more credit.
The LeBron comment, huh?
Their supposed best player is out for the year, although I've been of the opinion Jaylen Brown's their best player the entire time, and they're not missing a beat.
No, they're really stinking good.
They're one of the best teams in the NBA.
Easy.
It's like... And their supposed best player is not in the line. So when you're talking about value, shouldn't that matter? When we looked at Boston this year, we all looked at them as rebuilding year is not the right phrase for it,
but not this.
A retool,
not
if you
will.
Like,
in the East.
Hey, Tatum's out. We'll have a year, and then we'll be back to competing next year. And now we're talking about is Tatum going to come back in time in order to put him over the top at the end? He's averaging 29. 7, how many boards? 5 boards and 4 assists.
He's also one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. 29, 7, and 5. So I would put Jaylen Brown in there. I think Cade Cunningham deserves to be in the top 3 for what he's done to Detroit. And then after that...
Where's Wemby in games played? So Wemby is
Wemby's at 43 games played.
Okay, so Wemby is fourth behind Cade.
Yeah.
And Cade's having a great year. The Pistons are one of the best stories. But his numbers don't jump out.
He's averaging 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. Rounding up.
That's a really good
9.8.
season.
9.8, so rounding up.
But the Spurs are 2.5 back of the Thunder. If Wemby meets the threshold and the Spurs do overtake
I'd have no
the
problem.
Thunder,
If he plays enough games to do it, I have no problem with him getting an MVP.
it's 27-1.
Yeah. I just don't know. So he's played again at 43, so you're just doing the math in your head, right?
So they got 26 games or
so
whatever
you
it is.
essentially got to play all but 2 of them the rest of the way, and he's certainly capable of doing it. He's competitive enough to do it, but is there a moment
We're
where
at 57 right now.
57, yeah, so you got 25 games left?
No, it'd be about 25. Ooh, 25? 25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. Definitely 25.
You right over there, Oracle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just checking. It's okay. He's at 43, so you got to play 21 of 25 the rest of the way, or 22 of 25 the rest of the way.
I just don't know
capable.
how him being the 1 seed wouldn't put him in that.
I would just ask. It's interesting because I certainly put more respect on the Western Conference, and I agree ultimately with the take. I'd have no issue with it. Cade Cunningham is the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
I know.
And who's his second best player?
Probably Jalen Duren.
Who's a good player.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not an all-NBA kind of guy. I mean, we
All-star.
talked about that. He's an all-star, sure.
An all-star.
That Victor's got all-stars with him, too.
Yeah.
There's a good roster there around him. Vassell was awesome last night. So, it's an interesting year for the race, and I think the NBA's decision to have that game threshold was a really good one because it puts a sense of pressure on the back end of the regular season for guys who maybe want to load manage or there's not a lot to play for. Well, financially speaking, there is, and award-wise, there absolutely is.
It seems like it's a bit high, though, the threshold.
65 of 57?
Well, let me make sure it's
65
65.
of
I think it's in
82?
that 62-65 range.
I knew it was somewhere in the mid-60s. I just couldn't remember the number off the top of my head. But a lot of these guys are going to, like the only guy that's up there, Jaylen Brown's at 51, so he's going to get there. Maxi's not going to win the MVP, although he's having a great year. He's at 55. Donovan Mitchell's at 54.
Yeah,
Brunson,
65
53.
games.
Yeah. So you got a lot of guys. I mean, Jamal Murray's not going to win it. Cade Cunningham won't have any issue getting there. He's already at 50.
I think Wemby's my MVP.
He's your MVP pick?
I think he is, yeah.
I
He's
mean,
not going to win it, but that'd be my
He
pick.
might. To your point, if they get the 1 seed and this continues and he gets to the game threshold and you don't have – there's a chance that Luka, SGA, and Jokic all don't get to the required game total. And if that happens, that's going to open up the market completely.
It'd be down to him and Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. So if you get decent odds on that, you might as well go throw a couple of bucks on it.
Loaded second hour of the radio program. We'll kick it off with the local news that came out yesterday. No Civil War for a couple years. We'll talk about that. Hour 2, Dirt and Sprague, 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers with a single home game here at Moda Center tonight before they head out on a 5-game Eastern Conference road trip. Timberwolves will come to Moda Center for the 7 o'clock tip on the Peacock Network. Denny Avdia is out, resting his troublesome back. Naz Reid listed as questionable for Minnesota with a right shoulder injury. T-Wolves holding a 6.5-point favorites. NFL announcing the Detroit Lions will serve as the designated home team for the international game in Munich, Germany in 2026. The date of that game will be announced later this spring with the release of the full season schedule. To college football, Oregon State and Oregon not going to meet on the football field until at least 2028. The Beavs trying to get things set in the reinvented Pac-12. The hope is they can come up with a shorter-term home-and-home series in the near future. Portland Fire still awaiting the rules to be announced for the expansion draft in the WNBA for their inaugural season. The league setting a March 10th deadline to get a new CBA done with the Players Association in order for the season to start on time, May 8th. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home Network.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 2 during Sprague here, 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mail sack.
We'll get to that in the final hour. Mail sack questions can be texted in at 503-864-6326. We'll talk with Benjamin Robinson coming up here of Grinding the Mocks, his Substack, covering the NFL Draft. It's Combine Week.
Right around the corner, man.
So we'll grind the mocks with Benjamin Robinson coming up at 7:30 for the Daily Ticker. And as we mentioned, get the mail sack questions in, 503-864-6326. A lot to get into here in the second hour, including the Combine not being about the talent, but more about the NFL offseason being built.
Ooh.
So we'll get to that coming up here at 7:15. But we start the second hour with the news that came out just a little past yesterday's program. You missed the big Scott Barnes saying the Civil War.
Well, Scotty Barnes is at it again, huh?
It's on pause. The Civil War will not happen until at least 2028. Both sides looking to an agreement with Holman Holmes for 4 years, but we will not have a game in 2027. We knew we weren't having one in 2026.
Nope, schedules are already out.
Could not agree to one in 2027, and so we'll maybe move to 2028.
I mean, look, shout out to Scott Barnes for grabbing his huevos, if you will, and acknowledging that the initial agreement that they came to with Oregon was a bad one for Oregon State and one that made Oregon State fans absolutely livid, and rightfully so, because they were on the brink of playing back-to-back games at Autzen Stadium with a gap year in between, and they were going to go from 2024 to 2028 without a home Civil War. And that was a part of the deal. Now, Oregon on their side said, look, we got to have a certain amount of home games every year in order to, make our money back and get our season ticket sales and all that. And so we're not willing to pay below this, play this number of home games. So we're not coming to Corvallis that year. And when initially the agreement had been reached, it was like, wait a minute, didn't we just play in Eugene? Now we're going back to Eugene again. So Oregon State fan was livid with that. And thankfully, Scott Barnes woke up and realized that this is not a good deal for us. I think he also has the future conference schedule that they're going to play and realizes, hey, we want one more home game that year. We're not traveling on the road to Eugene to play. We need the home inventory. We need to sell the tickets and all that. And so I'm not surprised in the least that this happened. And now the dust has again been kicked up of should we keep playing the game? Because there's a lot of Oregon State fans that yesterday said, nice step one, Scott Barnes. Now step two is just cancel the game altogether.
Yeah, I think that's the next step, right? It's not about, hey, we haven't had a home game in 4 years. This isn't fair. It's about, does this make sense for us? You can't look at the Oregon side of this. You can't look at just the paycheck. You have to ask yourself, does it make sense for them?
Yep.
And the answer is, I think, a clear no. Now, I don't mind the game. I'm a weird thing on this where sometimes I'm in on it, and other times I'm out on it. But I think if you're just evaluating this from like a 20,000-foot view,
Yeah.
you would say, does it benefit you more than it hurts you? And I would say you could point to the paycheck and say, sure. But you could also point to are you going to compete or win this game? Probably not. So even in your dream season scenario, you're going to have a loss on your resume that shows you playing a Power 4 team and getting your teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
Not the greatest argument for committees to want to rank you maybe the highest of the group of 6. So I don't think it actually benefits you much outside of a paycheck. And so for that reason, I'm with you. The next step for them and him should be, sorry this has happened, sorry about the evolution of the sport, but this is what it's brought us to. We're in a different conference than them. They are paying for the game, which tells you all you need to know about the talent gap. And it's nothing against our institution that we can't ever compete, but it doesn't actually serve us in any real way that helps our football team maybe maximize the level of success they can have in a season.
I think it's interesting to ask a follow-up question because there's the Oregon side of this makes a ton of sense. It's an automatic win. You're playing a team 40 minutes away.
Yep.
You're traveling to Rutgers and Penn State and Indiana and Maryland, God knows where, to play conference games now. So you get a game that you can take a bus to. That helps you tremendously.
Yeah.
When it's one of your non-conference road games, and you get to keep the tradition alive, right? It's something that you can sell to your fans. Not that they care that much anymore, anyways. But it's a win-win-win-win-win for Oregon. I agree with you completely on the Oregon State side of things that it's nothing but L's because you're going to lose the game more likely than not every time that it's played. And sure, it's a nice paycheck, but I don't even know. Have we seen the details on how much Oregon's paying for this game? Because the follow-up I have to that is, what else are you getting in playing another non-conference game, and can you get more money elsewhere? Like they're going – so, for example, this game was supposed to be back in 2027. That's when they were supposed to play at Oregon.
Yep.
They're not going to. You're going to play 4 non-conference games because the new Pac-12 doesn't have enough to play 9 conference games. So you got 8 conference games, 4 non-conference. Their non-conference schedule in 2027 – it's already set with dates, by the way. Portland State you open up with, so there you go, nice easy win. New Mexico comes to town. That's your second non-conference game. And then you go on the road to Ole Miss and on the road to BYU.
Yeah.
Now, those are both likely losses, but
Yep.
we don't know what the program's going to look like 2 years from now. We don't know what Ole Miss or BYU are going to look like 2 years from now. So you don't want to project too far forward.
Sure.
And I'm just curious, like the follow-up is, how much money are you getting from those games? Is it more than Oregon's paying you? Because if it is, then by all means, keep taking the top dollar. You certainly need it. And so if somebody's willing to pay you more for a non-conference game, I would recommend to Scott Barnes and Oregon State that you go schedule it. And then there's also just the general idea that we discuss quite often around college football, and that is, what do you want your non-conference schedule to look like? Do you want big-time games on there? Games that you're likely to lose, but you're earning a paycheck, and it's, hey, one that you can get excited about maybe as a fan because of the name? Do you want the easiest possible opponents of the 4 games just to have the best win-loss record at the end of the season? Like, everybody will have a different take on that, but it also plays into this because – I mean, the current spot that Oregon football is in, they're not seemingly going anywhere, and so it's not going to be an easy putt for however many years that Dan Lanning sticks around there. And so do you want easier games, harder games, bigger paycheck games? It's an interesting question for Oregon State right now.
Ole Miss paid Wazoo $400,000 for that game this year that they almost lost at home.
The Cougs damn near beat them, man.
So, like, to me, if you're going between $400K and $600K,
in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a difference.
I don't think it's that big of a difference. Now, Ole
I
Miss,
just didn't know if we knew if anybody's reported what Oregon's paying.
I
for
haven't
the Civil
seen
War.
it. I
Okay.
haven't. If somebody out there knows, please text it in 503-864-6326. I haven't seen it. I'm just seeing what teams are paying in the moment, or they've paid out to not play, or they've paid for games that have already happened.
Yeah. Because I imagine you'll get, when you go to Ole Miss in 2027, it'll probably be about that same amount of money.
It's got to be in that ballpark,
somewhere
right?
in that range. I don't know. BYU probably the same.
And Ole Miss is maybe going to continue to be a wagon. I have no reason to believe right now, unless Pete Golding shows that he's not a good coach, that Oregon State's going to go there. But again, Ole Miss this year against one of the better Final Four teams in football damn near won the game, and that argument they could have won the game.
Yes, they were almost in the national title, and they damn near lost to Washington State at home.
So I know where Ole Miss finished and Oregon finished was the same, but also, like, to me, those programs are not the same right now. And if you play in Reeser, that's going to be half filled with green and yellow. And in Autzen, we already know how difficult that's going to be to win that game ever.
Yeah.
It's not that you won't be good either. It's just more of, let's say Jamarcus Shepard, let's say he gets the program where he has and wants to get in his mind, it's year 2. They're humming. They're playing really well. They
Hit
got
the
a lot of
portal
experience.
hard in year 2.
Portal really well.
Yeah, momentum.
I mean, if you can eliminate a loss on your schedule, the name of the game at this point is just do whatever you can to get the playoff. So
without a doubt, but it's a non-conference game, so you win your
Sure.
conference. That's the first thing that you have to do. But I certainly understand the point.
Yeah,
it
but
hurts you in the rankings.
going forward, when you're scheduling non-conference games, if you're not playing Oregon because of where everything kind of sits, once you get past the Ole Misses and the BYUs, what's the next level down in the Power 4? Can you schedule Maryland?
Does that get you going as a fan?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
You can't care
Well, hold
about
on.
that anymore. You have to care about.
I do think you have to care about it to
Why?
a certain extent.
Because if you beat a Power 4 team, one, that makes every fan base feel like, yeah, see, we're that level too.
Yeah.
And then two, if you maximize your potential to win the game, that's all you need. You need to get in the playoff. You need to win your conference and get in the playoff right now. So
schedule Arizona.
Sure. Arizona's good, but if you schedule those level of schools.
The other part of this for me that I think is really tough for them is the fact that everything you're saying is right. Like, the biggest goal for the program should be to make the college football playoff, and how do you get the best pathway there? The other side of this is it's also a business, and you're trying to sell tickets and season tickets. And so when you schedule non-conference games, the unique part about the Civil War is that if you do reach a new agreement, now it wasn't going to happen in this past one, which is why they were smart to rip it up, is that you're going to get a top 5 team in your building every other year, and that's something that you're not going to have access to in non-conference scheduling with anybody else. They had a game against BYU. It was supposed to be a home and home, remember? They're going to BYU in 27. 28, they play BYU. You know where they move the game to? Las Vegas. It's not coming to Corvallis anymore. And so that's the other part of this. I agree with everything you're saying, but if I'm working in the athletic department, I also understand is there any way that I could get somebody with a big enough name that's a draw that will sell not only season game tickets but season long tickets? Because for a lot of the new conference foes, outside of Boise State, Washington State, maybe there's not a lot of those in your new conference that are saying, "Hey, USC's in town."
I agree
you're not going to be able to
yeah.
replicate what it was under the conference. So that's the tough part that I have with this. Is I agree with everything you're saying from a schedule. Like, let's get to the playoff. That's the biggest thing. But you also got to make money in the meantime, and selling tickets is a big part of that.
I hear
and if
that.
your non-conference schedule every year is Idaho and New Mexico, are people jumping over hoops to go buy tickets to those games?
Well, maybe not. Maybe they are, because at the point when you play them, you're in contention to be undefeated or have a one-loss season to win your conference, and you're in the playoff as a group of 6, mention. What I would say on that, though, is I agree with what you're saying. The problem is, take Oregon, who's perennial been a top 6 team in college football. They haven't won one, but they're basically in that conversation every year. You're not wrong to say, are tickets sold out? Probably. How many tickets are resold for profit to Duck fans who want to go watch their team because they're an hour and a half away
A lot of them.
and not 2.5 hours away?
Yeah.
So as an athletic administration, you have to weigh a lot of things. It is a business. You need to make money. But you also have to say, well, what if we have a sellout, but it's like 35% Oregon? Is that?
I get it.
You know what I mean? And I understand that Oregon, more attractive on a ticket sale per basis than, say, Arizona. That's Swag mentions.
Right.
But I would just say this, without trying to sound hypocritical, because I don't really go to games anymore. I think the product's better on television. I'd rather watch all the games. You can't really bitch and moan and gripe as a fan base if you are not motivated, quote unquote, to go watch Arizona versus going to watch an Oregon level team.
Yeah.
If you want this program to change and you think it's about support, you can't say, Arizona, I don't want to buy the ticket. I mean, it's a Power 4 team.
And you have a better chance of beating Arizona than you do Oregon.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you want it to turn around, part of this is on the fan base too, is it not? I don't know what you want other than you need to maximize whatever you can to make the playoff, and that should be the priority. It shouldn't be about a rivalry game that isn't played during a rivalry weekend anymore. It's played in September and feels weird for both sides and doesn't really make sense for conference stuff. So outside of history, and I understand the history of it, I do. I know a lot of people want the game to last forever. I get that. But from an internal standpoint, it has to be about maximizing your chances to be a playoff team more so than to preserve a rivalry for the sake of people saying, shucks, like Orem wrote a column on this. We lose great things. We've already lost great things. We're going to continue to lose more and more great things.
The Pac-12's dead.
The conference is dead. It sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. They need to worry about making the playoff more than preserving it for a certain segment of the fans.
And I think everybody's going to come at it from a different lens. That's the beauty of this conversation, right? Like some people will say, I never want to play Oregon again. Some people will say, play them every year. We got to hold on to it. And then on conference scheduling, let's schedule easy. Let's schedule hard. Give me games I want to go to. Give me games that are reasonable wins. Like that's the beauty of the debate, that everybody's all over the map. I've said all along the ball is completely in Oregon State's court. Whatever they want to do, I'm okay with. If they want to cancel the game, by all means, man. My team left. You guys don't want to play us anymore. I certainly understand. And there's no ill will or no hard feelings either way. My biggest recommendation, he's not going to call me and ask, but if you did, Scott Barnes, if you're listening right now, I would say if you can find other teams that are willing to do what you at least have on the books right now, don't play the game because it only benefits Oregon. They got Texas Tech coming to town this year. That's a top 10 team in the country that was in the playoff.
That one could get ugly, but yeah.
Sure, but I think to this element of like you're trying to entice people to buy tickets,
that's a good one.
That's a playoff team from last year that reloaded again, right? 2027, you don't have much. Your non-conference slate is Portland State, New Mexico, and then, as I mentioned, Ole Miss, BYU on the road. 2028, not a lot. You got Idaho. That's the only one on the books at home. BYU is a Las Vegas game. 2029, you got Sacramento State, San Jose State at home. You're at Wake Forest. So not great. San Jose State, Sacramento State's not great. Then in 2030, you got Ole Miss coming to town. Now, does that game stay on the books or do they cancel? If you could get 2031, you got Kansas State coming to town. So to your point, there's back-to-back years. Now, that's a long ways off. You're talking 4 years down the road. If you could find teams like that will schedule home and homes with you, by all means do that in non-conference over playing Oregon because it only benefits them.
You can chime in with your thoughts on the rivalry game getting pushed to maybe 2028 or maybe not happening again for a while at 503-864-6326. Benjamin Robinson will join us, talk NFL Draft. Dirt and Sprague back with more. Hour 2 rolls on. 105.1 The Fan.
a.m.
It's Mail Sack Tuesday. Kind of hard to juggle the Mail Sack questions in with thoughts on different topics throughout the day, but we welcome the Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326. Good morning. We were just talking about the Civil War potentially coming to an end here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they end up reaching a new agreement. I certainly applaud them for doing the smart thing in the short term and playing the game this year
No
at
doubt, it was a good
Autzen,
move.
and then a no-game year, and
Yeah.
then back at Autzen the next year
Yep.
was a punch in the balls to Oregon State fans after everything that they've been through, and at least they finally woke up and realized their mistake.
Yeah.
And now if you play it
yes.
again, it'll be 2028 in Corvallis, and they'll go from Eugene in 25 to Oregon State in 28.
Has Oklahoma and Oklahoma State picked up their rivalry
Nope.
again, or is that staying off?
They have nothing on the books. They
Okay.
might get there at some point, but right now, currently, they have nothing on the books.
Okay. Just interesting to pass along that note that they won't play again until the earliest is 2028. But
A lot of Beaver
wait and
fans
see on that.
sharing the sentiment of, like, no more.
Maximize what you can out of your situation is what I would say to that.
Yeah, I'm just curious how many Power 4 teams they can get that want to come schedule a home and home with them. That, to me, is the biggest question
Fair.
out of this, because I think there's a balance of you want wins, but if you're selling me as a ticket buyer San Jose State and Sacramento State and Idaho every year, like, that does literally nothing for me.
Who is the best team Boise's gotten to come to Boise?
Oregon's gone there.
I mean, in the last 2 or 3 years.
That's a great question.
Because who was their best team that came there during their playoff year? Was it UNLV?
Boise largely had to go play those games at neutral sites
They did
and
it
on
last
the
year.
road.
They played at Notre Dame. I think
Yeah.
when you're Oregon
the Georgia
State,
game in Atlanta, I remember that one.
you want – I mean, that's why I said Maryland. I wasn't trying to say you could get people excited about Maryland, but, like,
Sure.
that's maybe as good a Power 4 team as you can get to come to you in Corvallis, Oregon, whereas
It's not. You're not in the Pac-12, the old Pac-12 anymore.
You
where
have
it
to
was
go to people.
Yeah, it's just the
Or
way
go
it's
to
going to
neutral
work.
sites.
Like Oregon played Boise at home last year, and then they get them at home again
Right.
this year. So they're just playing Oregon.
they're not playing in Boise.
I don't think Oregon's got. I don't think
Since
Oregon
the
has
punch,
one on the
right?
books. Yeah, last year it was at Notre Dame. The year before that it was at Oregon. I'm just gonna pull up the last couple of years at Washington in 2023.
Boise, they know they have to play a game, a team of those magnitudes.
Yep.
You need to copy the Boise model.
Yeah,
That's what I
22.
would say to that.
Yeah, there's not. I'm scrolling back the last 5 years. There's nobody really of note. Oklahoma State they got at home
There
in
you go.
2021. So
Okay.
there you go.
We'll talk with Benjamin Robinson coming up at grindingthemocks.com. He's really analytical. He looks at, like, the fall and rises of different guys. It's Combine Week, so we'll talk with him. I wanted to get to this. This is from Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports. He basically writes, the NFL Combine is this week, and it's not at all about rookies. It's all about veterans, rebuilding, and off-season move planning.
Ah.
He basically writes that Lamar Jackson extensions, A.J. Brown, Max Crosby, the Seahawks and Patriots both getting to a Super Bowl, with the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. This year's Combine, unlike any other he can remember, may be filled with more off-season conversation than ever before, since everybody's already going to be in Indianapolis to evaluate the talent. And he's basically like, all of your big moves that are going to start this week.
Get
because
cooked up.
all the conversations. And he says a large reason this is happening, one, you've got guys who have of note, like real name, that potentially could be on the move.
Big time wide receivers,
But-
defensive linemen.
Two, he writes, it really was how unexpected a Super Bowl run it was by the Seahawks and the Patriots that have teams all over the league starting to scramble and say, why can't we be them next year? So the Combine this year,
That's funny.
almost unlike any other in terms of people will watch the talent, but because of the way the season went, this is going to be more about the offseason business than it is about evaluating talent.
I mean, you got a lot of teams out there that are desperate for a wide receiver. A.J. Brown desperately wants out of Philadelphia. They have the head coach of the team openly saying he can't guarantee that he's going to be back. That's as open as you could be without saying we're going to trade this guy because we don't want to deal with it anymore. And so you got a guy like that on the market. Look what it did originally when Philly went out and got him and what it did for their offense. And what happened in Tennessee after they traded away A.J. Brown, right? So it was huge. Max Crosby being available. I mean, you're talking one of the top, however, how long the list you want to list of defensive linemen and pass rushers. Those guys aren't available all the time. We thought we were going to get it with Myles Garrett last year. Then what did Myles Garrett do?
Would you trade 2 firsts?
Who am I?
Who's the team that gets Crosby and goes over the threshold?
Who's desperate for an extra pass
I mean, the
rusher?
Bears have been one of these teams mentioned. I don't know if it's the deal Barnwell said, because reportedly they want 2 firsts and a player.
If I'm the Bears, I'd be okay doing it.
You trade 2 firsts?
I would, yeah. I mean, you were a play away from going to the NFC title game this year,
Yeah.
and you had a player like that. Like, I tend to lean in the direction of the Rams and F them picks if my standing and my financial standing is good, and they got a quarterback who's on a rookie deal. You got another year plus until you got to figure out that extension, and another 2 years until it fully kicks in.
Sure.
So it's not going to impact your cap in the short term, and so you get Crosby for a couple of years. I'd be all for it. Yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals, I would do it if I were them, but they didn't want to pay their last defensive lineman, so I don't think they're going to trade 2 first-round picks for that. They want the cheap contracts. So, I mean, it depends on the spot I'm in. I'm not just doing it on a whim, but if I'm a team that feels like genuinely that's the one piece that I'm missing, I'd have no problem trading 2 first-round picks for him.
You also have the movement of potentially Kyler Murray.
Yes.
Tua Tagovailoa. You got Aaron Rodgers, question mark, going into the next season.
How dare you forget about Kirk Cousins, who's going to get bought out and hit the open market.
I mentioned everybody I wanted to mention.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback next year, Kyler Murray or Kirk Cousins?
Kyler Murray.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd rather. The other guy's old. He looks so old this year.
He's so tiny, though. He's so
I'm
tiny.
with you. What is Kirk Cousins, 6'5"?
He's a big guy. He's a big guy, that Kirk Cousins.
Is he big?
How do you like me now? He's a big guy.
Look, I'm not excited. You know I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy. I'd rather roll the dice with Kyler Murray.
Tua, that's a good poll question. Who do you want to be your
Tua
quarterback next year? Tua, Kyler, or
Kirk Cousins?
Who do you want? You gotta pick a starting quarterback. You can only pick one.
Let's put Rodgers in this.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers can go in there too.
Rodgers, Tua, Kyler, and Kirk Cousins. Who do you think more people take? I think they would choose. Of those, I think they would probably gamble on Kyler or Tua.
I think Rodgers is going to win just because it's –
Really?
I think Rodgers will win. But I'll put that up. You need one quarterback for next year.
And your team's desperate.
You're desperate, need a quarterback.
Of these 4 options, make sure you write that because people are always like, what about this guy? Like, okay, these 4 options.
I want to trade for him.
Play the game.
Are we going to do the Lamar Jackson thing again for another offseason, by the way?
It's kind of interesting.
We're doing this again.
I don't know. Man.
Should we pay him? I don't know.
I mean, you know, if his mobility's gone, Dirt, he can't be a quarterback.
He's just lost his ability to run now? He's no longer athletic?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Well, you know, the end of the season, he didn't look very mobile, did he?
He was banged up throughout the course of the year. Yeah, yeah. So was Joe Burrow. He doesn't run a lot, and he can't stay healthy either.
Well, we see this is the extension deadline, I guess. So there's a lot going on in the NFL going into the combine. It's no longer just about the whose underwear is the tightest.
The irony of all that is, too, and New England, there's certainly a balance of both of them, but I would argue the driving factor of these teams getting back to where they got was how successful they were in the NFL draft. I'm not like Lawrence was a great pickup. I certainly understand like you got to go out and make free agent moves and trades.
It's not that
that's a part of it.
It's not that the draft isn't important.
I just find it funny because I know this is the first time they're all together and they're conversing. But like if you ask me why did Seattle get what was the driving force of them getting there, and I'd say nailing the last 2 drafts is a huge part of it.
Big part of it, no doubt.
Big part of it.
Let's talk a little NFL draft with Benjamin Robinson. He'll join us for the Daily Ticker coming up next. But first, Swag with the Sports Update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers a quick stop at Moda Center tonight before a 5-game Eastern Conference road trip. The Timberwolves invading Moda Center. Tip at 7 o'clock on the Peacock Network. Denny Avdia out, resting his back. Naz Reid questionable for Minnesota with a right shoulder issue. T-Wolves holding a 6.5-point favorites. As Oregon State gets settled into the reinvented Pac-12, Beavers athletic director Scott Barnes telling the Oregonian the soonest the Civil War rivalry on the football field could resume is 2028 with the hope of a 4-year home-and-home series being agreed to in the near future. NFL announcing the Detroit Lions will be the designated home team for the international game in Munich, Germany in 2026. That date of the game will be announced later this spring with the release of the full schedule. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live some stories can slip through the cracks.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules.
The Daily Ticker, where Dirt and Sprague hit the big stories you've heard about and some you haven't.
How'd you do that? Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
The Daily Ticker with Dirt and Sprague on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, welcome back in. Daily Ticker time here on a Tuesday edition, a Mail Sack Tuesday. Get the Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326. It is NFL Draft Combine Week. Everybody flying and getting ready to evaluate the Underwear Olympics for the NFL in Indianapolis. We're excited because we get to talk with a very smart guy with a very sexual in nature website that I'm very geeked out to read about, and that's Benjamin Robinson on Twitter at Benj_Robinson. Grinding the Mocks. It's a Substack he created. Super smart analytical dude, like way above our IQ level here, Dirt. And he joins us now here in old Portland, Oregon, US of A. Benjamin, good morning. How did we come to pick the name Grinding the Mocks?
So thank you guys for having me on. The reference that you made is not what I'm trying to make, so I'm happy to clarify. So, when NFL draft fans and draftniks are, they're watching tape on prospects, they love to call it grinding the tape. So scouts are always grinding the tape, and, that's not what I do. And so I'm like, well, what do? I take mock drafts and then I analyze them like the scouts are analyzing tape. So grinding the mocks came to be, and that's where we go.
Yeah.
As we go into Combine Week and we're getting ready to start grinding some mocks here out of it, what are the most interesting storylines for you of Combine Week? I know it's an open-ended question. I'm just curious the things you're following and you're curious about. What's big on your bingo card right now?
The storylines coming into the Combine are kind of interesting. The question kind of always is, who has the most to gain? And for the most part, it's the players who have questions. One of the things that the Combine is really good for is revealing some interesting players who maybe had some qualities that we didn't know. And that is when people go back and, rewatch and reevaluate and see if that's something that's just a kind of, something that's comes out of the Combine. It's not actually something that they have on tape. I'm going to be really excited to watch some of the 40-yard dash. But, to me, it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of just see what happens in terms of drills and whatnot. But ultimately, it's about those guys who, we didn't quite know they had that kind of thing behind them. And so, for example, in your neck of the woods, a guy I think that's going to be really fun to watch this week is Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq. I think that he's going to be potentially one of the bigger risers coming out of the Combine. And so over the next 2 weeks, it'll be fun to see how mock drafts react to, a player like him and his caliber performing really well in Indianapolis.
Yeah, Benjamin Robinson, our guest here, Grinding the Mocks. It's a great Substack. I was diving into it yesterday and just seeing the risers and the followers of the draft, who he has. He's going to update it throughout the week as everybody gets ready to see what's going to happen at the Combine. You mentioned Kenyon Sadiq, so I was reading some of the players that are rising and falling on your website. I'm curious with Kenyon Sadiq as of right now, because what you do is you take a real analytical approach to seeing where guys are largely being pitted by experts, fans, media alike. You average it out. You dive into numbers, man, on this stuff that I didn't even think about. I'm curious right now where you're hovering around with Kenyon Sadiq largely being picked in the NFL draft, because he's one we thought he was an automatic top 10 guy based on his look, his size, his skill. And now we're kind of wondering, is he going to fall to the back end of the first for some of these good teams? Where do you largely see Kenyon Sadiq?
So right now on my site, I have him in like the late teens, 20s. I think that makes sense. Last year we had two really strong tight ends drafted in the top half of the first round. That's more of, that's a pretty rare occurrence. You don't see that happen very often. So I think we've been spoiled by the likes of Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, even Brock Bowers in the prior year. And when we look at player rankings, those players were ranked in the top 10s in terms of prospect rankings. Like yesterday, Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 came out. Kenyon Sadiq was more of a middle round guy. And so I expect him to be more in like the early second half of the draft. So right now I have him ranked about my 20th player. The teams that he's getting mocked to the most are teams that are picking in that kind of playoff team area. So you have, the Carolina is I think a big spot for him right now. Philadelphia is a big spot for him. If he was going to go in the top 10, the team that's getting a lot of, hey, they could use a tight end is the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to go a different way if they were going to go on, for a player on offense than the tight end. But I think, a spot like Carolina, a spot like Philadelphia, will both make a lot of sense for a player of his skill set. But he's not in the same realm as the Brock Bowers and the Tyler Warrens. But I think he's going to wake up a lot of people to how good of an athlete he is. This week.
He's one of those interesting guys of was it him being limited? Was it the offense not using him enough? Because the numbers don't necessarily jump off the page from his time at Oregon. It's maybe some of those other guys that you mentioned, and that's why he's not in that same class. So I'll be fascinated to see how he works out this week and what the numbers test out and all that. On the quarterback question, when you look at the mocks, where are you at on the over-under of how many we get in the first round and just the value? Where are certain guys getting mocked and how many have the chance to end up being first-round picks? Last year, we thought Shedeur was a slam dunk. Didn't happen. He goes in the 5th round. Then you get Dart that sneaks in the back end of the first round, so you end up with 2. What are the names that have a chance, and what's your over-under on quarterbacks in the first round?
Historically, it's almost always a good idea to take the under on these quarterbacks in the first round types of markets. The Michael Penix Bo Nix draft was kind of the exception to the rule, but right now I would project in my data projects right now that there are 2 quarterbacks in the first round, but my data can be wrong. And so, my feeling is that if I had to wager right now on the over under, I would say only 1, with Fernando Mendoza going number 1. But, my data does like Ty Simpson as a kind of back of the half of the first round kind of guy. And, someone who comes at football from a more analytical lens, I think that if you think that he's a top 50 player, he's definitely worth a late first round selection because of the importance of quarterback. He just has limited starts and he's an older prospect. And so there's a lot of risk there, but there is some potential there as well. So Ty Simpson would be my second overall quarterback in terms of grinding the mock's expected draft position, which is my metric for where I project players to go in the draft.
Yeah. Benjamin Robinson, our guest here, grinding the mocks. You can find the Substack on his Twitter at Benj, BENJ_Robinson. Getting ready for a big week here. Reading a few articles on the website yesterday, and I'm really enjoying your Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase conversation that you wrote about in December, which was funny of hey, see this graphic? Joe Burrow's dead in this one. In this one, Joe Burrow's throwing to anybody he wants down the field. You ended up being, I think, largely right, even though Jamar Chase is an amazing football player. You also say that you've worked with, among websites, NFL teams. I'm curious, what was your experience like working for NFL teams when talking about some of this stuff, like how they're internally thinking? Because we always project being the talking heads and the people out there on microphones just screaming about this, screaming about that. We don't actually have the internal conversations. We're not privy to that stuff. You've seen it. You've lived it. What's it like?
So, when I say that I work with NFL teams, I'm a provider of data. So I'm on the outside the same as you. But my sense is the way that I am involved is helping to support teams in their draft preparation and draft strategy. So my data can help them with running internal simulations, integrating with their internal, scout grades or injury data or character data to kind of create more better estimates, because every team has a limited number of picks in the draft. And so you want to make sure that you're using those picks wisely, that you're taking the players at the appropriate spot in the draft so that you can get the players that you're targeting, but not blow draft capital in a big way so that you're putting holes in your roster with subpar players. So there's a mix of, the draft prep piece, but then largely the biggest piece is the draft strategy piece, which is player availability in the draft. If I'm a GM, I really would like to know if the player that we're interested in targeting is going to be available at my next pick. Do we need to make a trade? Do we need to start working on that? And then also, when we talk about the stuff that you mentioned with Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell, there's an opportunity cost whenever we take a player and we don't take another player. And so thinking about that in a holistic way, where are the strengths in the draft? So in that article, I said, the Bengals took Jamar Chase because they felt that the wide receiver options in the second round were not as good as the tackle options in the second round. And I think they were largely correct when you look at the players that were available there. They just chose the wrong one. So to me, you want to make sure that you have a good process in place from a kind of meta level. And then also you do want to make sure that you're taking the right players from a scouting level. I'm not telling them the players they should take. I'm just saying when I think they're going to go. And so it's definitely a little bit of a lot of a science, but also quite a bit of an art to make sure that you can integrate that into your process.
Throw a random one at you because we got some listeners that are curious. Cage Casey is a local kid. He's a Clackamas kid. Started for multiple years at Boise State. I think he was an all Mountain West guy for a few years. He was a guy that in the fall, when these like way too early mocks were coming out, some had projected him as potentially a back end of the first round. I think what I've seen mostly since then has been a little bit later on. And then I'm just curious what you know about him and if you got any info on what the mocks are saying about him.
Yeah, I do. I have 300 mocks and big boards with Cage Casey from Boise State, and so we have a fair amount of data. I think he had I think he's going to play guard in the NFL, so that also caps kind of where they think you can go. If you played tackle in college, it's nice that you can play tackle in the NFL, but I think their teams are mostly thinking about moving him inside. Right now, he's ranked 115th, so that's going to be in the fourth round of the draft. So potentially like borderline top 100 right now, but trajectory-wise, I think he's in a good spot to be picked on day 3 of the draft.
We're a little against it here, Benjamin, but I'm kind of curious. How reactionary do you find the draft year to year to what the results were in the regular season? I was reading an article from Charles Robinson, who's basically like, because the Seahawks and Patriots made the Super Bowl and one of them won it, that this week is it's a lot more about offseason building than usual combine draft stuff. Not that they're not evaluating draft prospects, but just very interesting. I'm curious, as somebody that's been around it, been in it, covering it, making content about it, how reactionary you find NFL drafts to the reactions of what we just saw happen in the regular season and in the playoffs.
Yeah, yes. The NFL is definitely a copycat league, and I think people are looking at the Seahawks and saying, wow, they have all these great defensive backs that can really fit the run and cover really well, and so I think you think about Oregon, you think about a guy like Dylan Thieneman, who might benefit from that type of discussion. But the market definitely shifts year to year based on trends in the league and based on the kinds of talent that's available. And it's always great when the talent that's available meets the trends that are happening. And so I think that's positive for a guy like Dylan Thieneman, but there's a lot of competition as well.
Good stuff. Benjamin Robinson, our guest here on Grinding the Mocks, getting ready for the NFL Draft Combine this week. The draft just around the corner. It's a really good analytical take and also breaking down all of the prospects' positional values. You can find it on his Twitter, @Benj_Robinson, and Grinding the Mocks, a Substack. We put it out on our Twitter as well, @Dirt and Sprague. Thank you so much for joining us, Benjamin. We'd love to catch up with you maybe a little closer to the NFL Draft and see an updated version of the risers, the fallers, and the way everything's kind of shaken out.
Definitely, yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on. And yeah, the Substack and then the website, grindingthemox.com, are where you can find the data and some of the charts and some of those top 32 players.
All right, there we go. Good stuff. Benjamin Robinson, Grinding the Mocks, with an early look at the NFL Draft Combine.
Yeah, Sadiq's going to be a guy that just pops. This week. This is
made for somebody like that to make the top 10.
He's going to be wearing those spandex and running fast 40 times and jumping over everybody and cone drills and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'll be curious what his stock ends up looking like. I've seen Thieneman as a guy who continues to rise a little bit. Some people have him going, for the most part, early on mocks had him back end of the first round at the earliest. Now maybe slipping up a little bit or rising up, I guess would be the phrase, a little bit. So I'll be curious to see how these guys perform this week and what it does for their stock in a couple of months.
There we go. Good stuff from Benjamin Robinson here on the Daily Ticker. We're back with more 746 on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Woo! Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
Matched up with Vassell to the rack. Blocked by Wembanyama. Unbelievable. My goodness.
That is a layup or a bucket 99% of the way.
Yeah, NBC on the call of that one. Cade Cunningham finishing 5 of 26 from the floor, the third worst field goal percentage of the game in Pistons history with at least 25 attempts. Wemby was awesome in this one. Spurs win on the road.
Yeah, it was a massive win for them on the road. Hard to hold Cade Cunningham, too, responsible for a loss like this because he's largely carried their team this year, but Duran was definitely the better player last night, and it was a stinker for all of them, included a home loss by 11 points.
Who's stinking it up? Cade Cunningham, brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Our friends at Three Mountains Home Services are back with an amazing offer. Buy an AC and get the furnace absolutely free. This is a very limited time deal. Great local company, exceptional customer service. Year-round comfort starts now. Visit threemountainshomservices.com today.
1080 AM.
Mario Cristobal versus Kirby Smart. We got audio on that one. We'll get to that today. It's a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get those Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. Good stuff from Benjamin Robinson of grindingthemocks.com.
Hell of a name. He didn't go there in his head, but we went there in our head.
Did it sound like I offended him, or
A
he
little
was
bit.
Yeah,
Little bit. Slightly. I don't think it was a derailer of the interview, but I think he was.
Swag's like, yeah, you did.
Dude,
I was trying to have fun with it.
A little uncomfortable.
He did not seem like the
Grinding
kind of
the
guy.
mocks.
He seems like a very serious, I'm here to talk numbers and analytics.
That guy's in front of multiple computer screens.
No, I know. He's like literally
and there's no
like
grinding involved on any of the things that he's watching.
He's like a data engineer who this is his like passion project.
Yes. I don't think he was quite.
Damn, dude. I was just trying to like ease
I don't
him
think
into
it ruined the
interview
future. I think it was okay.
We're grinding rounds 2 through 3, man.
Yeah. We've certainly offended people more than that. That's not the most offensive we've ever been. But
And by we, you mean me.
You,
Yeah,
but he was.
okay.
He was. I think he was a little taken aback by that.
Okay.
There was a brief moment there where
I think I can get him
I
back
don't
on.
think he
Things got
was
slightly
expecting
uncomfortable.
that first question out of the chute.
no.
Oh, well.
Welcome to the show. Okay, that's what we should have said.
You having sex with round 5? What?
You bumping and grinding round 3?
That's my mistake then. I'm sorry. Try to ease people.
Hand
it's a
up.
morning show.
It's on you.
We're easing
I
people in. Good
understand.
morning.
That's one maybe you kind of go at the end. Just go, hey, we were curious about, yeah.
I'm not
After you've
upset
had
about
a
easing
good
him in.
conversation and, yeah.
All right. Well, I thought it was still very good information from him, and I think we'll get him back on. So I didn't
Yes,
ruin it
No,
totally.
we'll be okay. It'll be all right. We'll get him back on.
We will get to the mail sack. We'll talk about the Kirby Smart Mario Cristobal beef audio. I don't know if we'll get to it today or if you talked about it yesterday. An article over the weekend that guess who became David Stern 2.0 finally?
What?
Yeah. His testicles dropped. Adam Silver on a conference call with general managers was like, the hell you will, Tank.
Yeah, we did not talk about that yesterday.
Yeah, I guess he was, according to all the sources,
Are we
like,
taking him seriously? Are we actually
Dude.
threatened by this?
there
or
were
is this
people
like
saying
a-
legitimately, people were uncomfortable with how like different he was in tone. They were like, what? Who are you?
Whenever I picture him, I just picture the tall, skinny guy in The Office. What was his name? The guy who
Jim?
came. No, not Jim. But later on, who came from Sabre.
Gabe.
Gabe, thank you. Like it was him getting upset, and that's how I picture Adam Silver. Like him yelling would just make me laugh.
I have it more as like a dad that will never actually follow through with the threat that counts to
sure,
3.
like that sounds
Don't
intimidating.
You stop it, you'll lose it in 3, 1, 2. You think I'm kidding? You stop it right now.
2.5.
2 3/4. You better take me seriously.
And then they
I'm
just
not
like,
buying it,
change the
Adam.
topic.
I mean, I'm glad his balls dropped and he
Kid
yelled at
sitting there
somebody.
with his
but
arm folded, staring at him.
Yeah, sure. I dare you. I mean, Teddy's already doing that to me every night. It's like one more shoot before bed. And I'm like, all right, one more, and then he shoots it, and then it's one more.
That's what Ryan
2
Miller's
more,
doing.
one more,
Ryan
2
Miller's
more.
sitting there with his arm folded. I dare you.
I don't really have much on this, so I'm just going to throw it out to you as we go to the third hour of the program because I don't personally think it warrants much of a conversation. Is anybody, and I'm legitimately asking for people to respond to this, anybody ordering Mayweather Pacquiao fight 2?
Had I found an
I mean,
audio
you know,
clip,
people will. We're pretty stupid. I won't, but no, for the love of
well,
God.
it's not going to be pay-per-view.
It's
It's
just on
Netflix.
Netflix.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
I mean, people are going
I'm
to
not
But no,
watching
I'm not
that.
dialing it up. Had I found an audio clip about this, it would have been stinking it up. I couldn't find an audio
I mean,
clip.
what are we doing
If
here?
we're watching
49
Jake
and
Paul
47
fights,
years old.
Get out of
Come
here.
on.
I mean, we know what we're doing here.
I didn't
This
watch
is
the
a-
last Paul fight. Truth bomb. I watched the Tyson
I didn't watch
one.
that. I didn't watch the Tyson thing.
That's actually
I
the
didn't watch-
only Paul fight I've ever watched because I felt like this is finally the chance that he's going to get knocked out.
He's already lost a fight.
I know.
He
I don't
lost
care.
to what's the big bald guy, the heavyweight who won the title?
Butterbean?
No, recently he got knocked out, and then he like woke up somehow and came back and
Oh, the guy that yanks it 10 times a day?
yeah.
God, what is his name?
Oh my God, we are doing such a disservice to the fight industry right now.
No, they've done a disservice.
They're doing
to
it
us
by
for 20
announcing this
years.
is a fight.
I can't believe this is a fight. What
No,
are
I
you doing?
can't either. I saw that. I was like, are you kidding me?
It's unbelievable. What's the guy's name?
I'm trying.
You're gonna say it. It's gonna piss me off.
I'm trying to find
I'm
it.
just seriously blanking right now.
What is his name?
He just
Why can I
fought.
not find this
It's
information?
got to be on the chat. Something.
Who was the guy that he fought? You remember his name? Who wore the mask? He wears the mask out.
Yeah.
Wilder.
Deontay
Fury.
Wilder.
Fury. Tyson Fury.
He lost to Fury's little brother.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we know he's not a great boxer. It's
he's
all
terrible.
just showmanship and
I just
name.
wanted to watch one because I felt like the last guy he fought was actually going to knock him out, so that's the only one I've watched. I didn't watch the entire thing. I just fast-forwarded through it until I could see him getting knocked out, and now seeing him have multiple jaw surgeries has been really rewarding.
What are you announcing this? Like, who's excited for this?
I don't know if you're aware of this.
No, I know.
I'm going to break some
I get
news
it.
to you.
Why are we excited for this?
We live in a really stupid country.
Right. What are you getting out of this? Late 40-year-olds who haven't fought?
We live in
using their names.
How many
ducking the fight for God knows how many too many years?
How many people do you think watch the Tyson Paul fight?
Probably more than I would expect. I was one of them. I'm telling you, it got me.
His butt cheeks were on the screen.
I still have the photo.
There's no way.
How many? I'd believe it.
Total viewers, because I think you go back and watch, is at 108 million global.
I believe that. Yeah.
The event peaked live at 65 million concurrent streams.
Yeah.
That's why.
That was what is this? Now, what did the Joshua fight get? I don't think it got that many. I don't think it got 65 million live.
I don't think so.
Because we all knew he was going to lose that fight unless there was a clear fixing, which they legally couldn't do because
33 million.
Yeah, see, it's half. It's a cutoff.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure this one will do like 25 million because of the names, but
we're really stupid people, man.
What are we doing this fight again?
You know what would have been cool boxing? These guys fighting in the prime of their careers.
Well,
that would have been pretty cool. Maybe you would be more relevant as a sport if your top fighters fought each other in the prime of their careers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Maybe that helps a little bit.
Loaded third hour. We'll get to Mario versus Kirby. We've got the mail sack on a Tuesday, third hour of the radio program. 105.1, The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers trying to build on the momentum from their win at Phoenix on Sunday, hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight before they leave for a 5-game East Coast road trip. Denny Avdia out, resting the troublesome back. Naz Reid questionable from Minnesota. He's got a right shoulder issue. T-Wolves holding is a 6.5-point favorite. Oregon State getting accustomed to the reinvented Pac-12 for football season will push back any renewal of the Civil War football rivalry. Beavers Athletic Director Scott Barnes telling the Oregonian it could resume in 2028 if they can agree to a 4-year home-and-home series in the near future. The Portland Fire still awaiting their rules to be announced for the expansion draft in their inaugural season. The WNBA needs to get a new CBA done to do so. They have set a March 10th deadline, with the Players Association in order for the season to start on schedule, which is May 8th. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3, Dirt and Sprague here. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your Tuesdays are off to a great start. Coming up 1 hour from now, the long-awaited return.
Mail sack.
Anything you want to ask, fire away, 503-864-6326. And sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. We'll answer them coming up in 1 hour from now. I have some NFL nuggies for this hour of radio. Love a good NFL.
I now want to get Benjamin Robinson on again and make him uncomfortable with another sexual in nature.
I think it's the only option at this point going forward is we just do it as many times as we possibly can to him to see if this ever becomes an actual bit or if every time he pushes back.
Yeah, maybe like the third time he just announces his kink. And we're just like, whoa.
I'm really into leather. What?
Yeah.
Whoa, Benjamin. Benjamin. Hey, buddy. Calm down over there, right? Aren't we all? Lots to get to. Let's start with this fun game. And I don't know if there's anything real here, but I also think if somebody were to roast you, if we did a roast of Brandon Sprague, how much of it would you take personally?
Probably none of it.
None of it?
I'd probably look at
is there any joke that somebody could insert that would actually not hurt your feelings isn't the right word, but oh, you went there, huh?
No.
Nothing? No.
Swigart,
what about you?
I've been called out on a lot of stuff on air.
Oh, sure. I mean, I get it.
Wait, what was that, sorry?
If we were to roast you, would you have the ability to compartmentalize?
Does he know it's a roasting?
Yes, you know that it's a roasting. You're sitting up there, we're roasting you.
Yeah.
Would you have the ability to not take things seriously, or would you be upset about something said about you?
Is there something specifically that would really strike a nerve if they brought it up?
There's probably a couple of things that would, if somebody went somewhere,
and kept needling a little bit, you might be like, hey, whoa.
What department are we talking about in case we ever randomly go at each other?
He's not going to tell you that now.
But
it's going to give you too much
ammunition. I don't want to accidentally go there one day.
He can't tell you that.
But no, if you know it's a roast, you just come. You just
know.
You holster up.
Well, what would yours be? Would you have anything?
I'm trying to, because I'm going to play the audio here in a second, and I'm wondering if there was any part of them that took this stuff personally, like, oh, really? You went there?
I took this as guys who have known each other a really long time and know how dirty and gross their game is, and they're just making fun of each other.
I'm willing to take shots.
But they're probably like, yeah, we're both gross.
If we ever play each other and there's a secret level of hatred, maybe silently, I don't know.
I didn't view it that way.
This all came from, there was a Steve Spurrier Awards. I don't even know what the Spurrier Awards are, if it's a coach award thing.
I don't know if it's a coach award, because Malachi Toney won Freshman of the Year at this.
Oh, okay, so maybe it's just another end of the season college football award thing
I think it's one of those.
Okay. Well, Steve Spurrier is up there anyways. Love the old ball coach. He's up there, and they're giving out all these different awards. And two of the coaches who are there are Mario Cristobal and Kirby Smart. Now, to your point, they did work together. I believe they were on the staff together at Alabama. I'm assuming that they were.
If not, they've met each other several times.
Cross paths and all of that.
Right.
And unsolicited out of nowhere during this ceremony, as Mario Cristobal has the microphone, and again, Kirby Smart is in the crowd, Mario Cristobal says this about Kirby.
I'll tell you what, the first thing is it's a great piece right there to watch what a player like Carson Beck could do with great coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, let's give it up for Kirby Smart. Let's give it up for Kirby Smart. I mean, if it wasn't for all his years of pre-NIL, we wouldn't have NIL right now anyways, right?
Wild thing to say.
So my apologies. That was actually the opposite.
Response,
so Mario
yeah.
was the response. So that was the response to what, we'll go backwards in the segment. It's like reading a book from the last page forward. That was Mario's response to what Kirby Smart said, and this was the shot that Kirby took.
Mario's right behind him, and if it had been up to him, he would have paid a lot more NIL money because it came down to us too. So I don't like you being real close to Mario right now. You know what I'm saying? He's still got another year left. Got to be careful around Mario. Sometimes he'll take your players, if you know what I mean. But no, I'm just kidding. It's all right. I was talking to Mario earlier, and he came up to me, and he gave me a Lane Kiffin joke. And he and Lane are very similar in a lot of ways. They're like best friends. And he came up to me, and he's like, you ought to start getting on some protein shakes. You've had too many carbs. And I said, well, you probably ought to spend some time with Steve Spurrier because he won more conference championships at Duke than you have in Miami.
That's the kick in the junk finish right
What
there.
is the joke that hurts the most
That
there?
one.
It has
It's-
to be
it's
that one.
Like
even though they
taking
just played in a
players.
national title game, it's like, dude, you haven't won an ACC title.
Yeah, recruiting wars are recruiting wars. That
happens.
goes on all
That's
the
a
time.
common
You took my
respect
player,
thing.
I got your player,
Yeah.
whatever.
Spurrier having more ACC titles
Wild
at
stat.
Duke than Mario's had at Miami
Wild
is
stat.
just an absolute kick in the junk. And it's a good response by Mario, but it doesn't quite hit the same way. You know that one hit Mario. And you know it hurts Mario more than Kirby. Kirby's
Yes.
like, I got 2 rings.
I'm fine, dude.
I'm in the
I'm set,
SEC
man.
title game every year.
They're building a statue of me out front of
Come
the
on.
stadium in 25 years. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
You just lost the title game. You've never won the ACC championship, let alone a national championship.
Right.
You know that one, and we know that a little bit personally. You know that stung him far worse than it did Kirby.
Now I'm all I'm wanting out of this, because again, I'm assuming it's just an old friendship and Kirby taking a shot. No, give me that in the playoffs next year.
And this is the thing. I don't think. I disagree. I don't know if you're saying this, but if you are, I don't think this is any negative animosity.
Oh, I don't think it's negative
these guys
animosity.
Really like each other.
I think it's just about after those comments, I would love to see them play each other on the field, because you can't make a joke like that, and I'm sure they're laughing internally, and they want to win every game they're playing. It's an obvious statement, but now that if you played them, like there's an extra 2% on that game.
See, it'd be like us going at each other, where you could probably say 80 things at me that'd be true and funny, and I could go at you. But this is more the equivalent of what you're saying. I need you to play one-on-one against Andrew Nimick.
Yeah. There were comments made.
And I need you to win.
I love Nimick. He's a great guy.
Sure.
But you disparaged my high school athletic accomplishments.
That's where I want the
I'm
games.
ready to go dominate you now. Okay? I still love you. It's
Hook
a good
shot for the win.
You're a good friend. I love having you on the show. I
Right.
love talking Cruton with you. The random texts I get from Nimick's great, but I'm taking you to the paint.
Okay, now what's yours? What's the roast thing for you? Because he won't.
I don't know. Because
He
I
won't
was thinking
say
about
what
it.
his is. I'll tell you. Mine are. I talk about mine. That's
I
the
don't
problem.
know. I think the hard part for me of a roast setting is that I don't know if I would know what my ticks are until I discover what my ticks are. Like, until I'm sitting in that chair, I don't know if I could tell you what I would take personally. But I feel like knowing my personality, there would be something said in there that I'd be like, dude, that was low. Really? You're going to go there?
Not as low as your height. Oh,
see, that's not one that does it. I don't care about the heights.
Right,
I mean,
I know.
it's funny. It's been used against me forever. That's not one that's a tick for me.
But you're very good at, I think in the moment, you're on camera, you're smiling, you're laughing, you're
But
clapping.
internally in my eyes,
But now you're like, now you've made the list. Now
you're on my Arya Stark list. I'm writing your name down. I'm going to remember that joke, dude. That hurt my feelings, man. That went way too far.
I've known you too long to know there is a real list that I know the names
there's a line
on that list.
There's a line that you do not cross with me, and if you do, you're going to go on my list.
What's he do with that list?
I don't know.
Just holds it internally for about 20 years.
Say all the names before I go to bed every night. I'm not going to forget.
You celebrate if they die before you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He bit the dust. No
Who's
way,
laughing
dude.
now?
That's right. So this was great. I also got to thinking and watching this yesterday because it was a hilarious back and forth, and kudos to both guys for having fun with it. I then tried to play in my head of, like, who's the coach that I'd love to see Dan Lanning do this to. And there's immediate jokes that you can make back that maybe are my ticks of, like, well, it's not going to be Kurt Signetti. It's not going to be Ryan Day.
You can't say anything to
Nobody
can say anything to Kurt Signetti right now.
Not going to be Kalen DeBoer. You know, there's a handful of guys on that list you're not going to be able to make the jokes about. I think Jed Fish was top of my bingo card.
Jed Fish, huh?
Jed Fish.
What's he done?
He's
not beat you?
Yeah, so he's fun to make fun of because he hasn't beat me.
But don't you need a little bit of like
Jetfish is
somebody can make fun of your guy back?
Yeah.
Like Lanning and Day would be a good one. Lanning's beat him.
So let me ask you this.
Day got the title. Day clearly dyes his
beard. He's got a
beard.
championship and he beat us by 40 points.
Nobody
in a Rose
gives
Bowl.
him credit.
Like, I know they don't, but that hurt. That hurt, man.
Oh, I get it.
It's
does.
still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, I guess my counter would that to be with like Mario doesn't have much to shoot back at Kirby with. What, he got to a title game? That's fine. Kirby's got 2 rings.
This is my point, though. He was just in the title game. He's feeling good. They're at a Spurrier event. If anybody's going to do trash talking at an event, it has to be a Spurrier event.
Well, the Jetfish thing recently has been in the news because Josh Pate had a list of the top 10 coaches in college football. He did a ranking of them.
Did he quiz the president on them?
He did not ask the president about that because he would have just talked about the kickoff rule and given him no content. But Jed Fish saw this. He said, these are my top 12 programs in the country. And it was, guess the top 12 programs in the country. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, blah, blah, blah. And Jed Fish quote tweeted it and said, got it. And everybody's like, what are you talking about?
He's using fuel. Chip on the shoulder there, Andy. That's what that is.
Okay.
You wait.
You went 7-5 and 8-4 in your first 2 years at Washington.
He got a new quarterback.
And you want to be considered one of the top 12 programs in the country?
He just landed a quarterback out of the portal.
Seeing that tweet, then this story made me want somebody to take some personal shots at Jed Fish.
Here's one.
Has he ever been to a ranked team in his career? I should ask a team that finished ranked. I'm sure he's beaten a team that was ranked at the time. Has he beaten one that finished the season ranked in his entire career?
So part of this has to be the ability to throw him. Like, I'll give Mario credit on this. Mario delivered that really well.
He did.
Right? I still think Kirby beats him in the delivering of roasts back and forth, right? But pretty good.
He just also has more ammunition because he's got 2 rings.
Here is a matchup that I think fits exactly perfectly in a roast setting. If you did a celebrity death match but roast style, get it on, Lane Kiffin and Dan Lanning is
That's
perfect.
a good one. That's a good one.
Neither have the ring.
No.
Both have accomplished a lot.
Done a lot, but not the biggest of the big.
Both worked for Saban.
Yeah.
Both have so many things that they could throw at each other.
A lot of out-of-pocket stuff, the tattoos, the hot yoga.
Oh, yeah, abandoning your team before the playoff.
Yes.
Dude, Lane Kiffin is the roast matchup we need in our lives.
Somebody said, is Dirt more like Arya Stark or Steve Buscemi with his list?
No, it's definitely, well.
Boy, am I glad I called that guy.
Both get revenge, don't they?
They do,
technically. We never
technically.
see Buscemi's guy get revenge, but
Doesn't he shoot somebody at the end of the movie?
Oh, that's right.
He
and he's like,
shows up with his
lipstick
lipstick in. He's like, dude, thank God I called and apologized to that guy.
Arya Stark actually takes care of those people. Is there a list you just never handled? Because it would be that.
That would be it. That would definitely be it. Well, there you go. Some trash talk between Kirby and Mario Cristobal.
We need more of that in that sport.
It'd be great, dude. I love it.
The sport's great. We need coaches. They're already the personalities of it.
Stop taking yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
You make $10 million a year to coach football. I understand it's a hard job. I understand it's a lot of hours, and you have to be a psycho to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're also the highest paid employee in all of your states. So let's have a little fun with this, okay? That's all I ask. I saw this yesterday as we get closer to draft time. There were ideas from anonymous scouts and GMs about what should happen in the first round. Of the polled general managers, what should the Raiders do with the first overall pick? I thought the answer was interesting. I'll tell you what it was. Coming up next on 105.1 FM The Fan.
6:30 a.m.
Well, evidently they both teamed up, Kirby and Mario, that is, like the Bash Brothers, and took some shots at Florida. So we'll play that audio for you at some point.
Just send it to Swag.
It's a pretty easy target to make fun of.
Kirby.
Not many people can't dunk on Florida right now.
I'll tell you this. If Kirby ever reaches a point where he hasn't won a title again, and he's still having success, but they can't break through this, the glass.
A couple years in a row, they haven't won a playoff game.
I know, and if that continues, and Florida fan eventually is like, we deserve better, and they really want to run him out, and that's where that goes. That dude probably coaches till he's Saban's age. I kind of hope he goes to TV and just says, you know what, I accomplished enough in this sport.
Unfiltered Kirby Smart takes, I would pay to hear those.
Talk about a guy that was going to be great on television if this is who he's going to be behind the microphone, is Kirby Smart.
Go back and look at interviews, too. I've seen random ones over the years because he was a player, obviously, at Georgia back in the day. And go watch interviews of him when he was a player. He was the same way when he was in college.
Yeah.
Like, he was hilarious, gave good answers, talked trash about opponents. He's been authentic for a long time, so I'm with you there. We know that it's Combine Week, and we're getting closer to the NFL Draft. I always find the anonymous stuff from folks inside front offices in the NFL, like, just give me your opinion. You're not going to put your name behind it, so I have some belief that it is actually true about what teams should do, best players available, and all that. There's some interesting quotes in this about from NFL players on guys they're most excited to play against that are coming into the NFL this year. But I thought this was interesting. So they had 8 different front office executives, so some presidents, GMs, all that stuff, who were polled over the week at the Senior Bowl. ESPN went down, Jeremy Fowler and another writer went down and talked to these executives. And they anonymously polled them, and they asked them, should the Raiders keep the number 1 overall pick and select Fernando Mendoza? Of the 8 front office executives, what do you think the vote split was?
I'm going to say it was 5-3 keep.
Okay.
But I'm hoping it's 5-3 trade. And again, I like Fernando Mendoza. I think he's going to be a good NFL player if you can protect him. You are a terrible franchise who needs a lot. Trade the pick if you can get multiple picks out of it and start the build the right way. But what did they say?
5-3 would have been. I maybe would have gone 6-2. There's a couple of road guys in there. Trade the pick, but the majority, keep it. That would have been my guess. 8-0.
Keep the pick?
Keep the pick. One AFC executive about the Raiders was quoted saying, never say never, but never.
Oh, they're not. Internally, they're not contemplating
No,
this.
it's not going to do it.
We would be idiots to them.
One NFL executive said the Raiders roster is bad, but Mendoza is the best passer in the draft, and it's not close. You cannot pass that up. He's accurate to all levels of the field with a good arm, plus size, and good character. Another executive said that could be his superpower. His demeanor, he's really that focused. I think guys will gravitate towards that. And I'm certainly not under the opinion that they will trade the pick, nor do I even open the arguing that you should. It's more about, to your point, like we should have all options on the table here. I think you're robbing yourself of chances if you're not. I was just surprised there wasn't a single executive that was like, remember when Chicago did that? Worked out pretty good for them. Maybe entertaining. I'd trade the pick. Just one out there. No, not a single one.
I guess to that point, I'd say, how do you separate then Chicago doing it and then not doing it, right? Like they had the benefit of having the Panthers pick, but why, I guess, are people like me looking at some of the guys saying, oh, you got to draft him versus, you got to trade out of that. Now, it's not a Mendoza can't be better than Caleb's stance.
No.
I think if
And
anything,
the Bears didn't know what the Panthers were going to do in year 1, too. Like, you didn't know. They assumed they were going to be bad, and their pick ended up being a top 10 pick. The reason they had the number 1 overall pick to get Caleb was because of Carolina.
Right. So I think they were just banking on that. You won't figure that out in a year, and we'll benefit from that. I think more what I'm asking is, do we think the Raiders are likely to be the turnaround story of the NFL next year? Or we go, hey, remember how he was the deadly accurate guy who was ready to play and they can't block for him?
Right. The offensive line is terrible and he's getting killed.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the tough thing. They fired Pete Carroll. Cool. They kept the general manager.
They did.
Who brings in the talent? Was that just Pete Carroll?
That was the general manager.
Okay, and Tom Brady's been there a couple years, but Tom Brady's supposed to know how to make this a winner.
He's the GOAT, man. Wins everywhere he goes.
I think we're assuming a lot, and it's not that the Raiders will never figure it out. It's just that they haven't largely in the last 20 years. So if you're evaluating from a top down, your DN might want to trade, so you might be devoid of that. If not, you at least have that. You've got Bowers. Genty wasn't awful. I just don't think his line was very good.
No, you can get better around him.
You just have so much stuff. It's not an anti-Mendoza take. It's just a reality. Like, it's hard to build in the NFL. Take advantage of windows when you can. Yeah. But they clearly don't feel that way. They're going to draft the quarterback, and we'll have to wait and see on it. But all of their intel, this is what I find funny. as wrong as I might be, or anybody else who shares the feeling, none of them know either.
No,
and they're
they have
sitting
no idea.
watching this film all day. I'm going home. I'm taking care of some chores. I'm running some errands. I'm getting some stuff done today. I'm not watching Mendoza tape. They are. And who knows who's going to be right here.
It is funny because I think a lot of my decision would be based on Max Crosby, ironically. Like, if that can't be resolved and you're trading him, you're getting multiple picks out of that, I would assume. How many ones? I don't know. At least one, I would guess. But if you get multiple first-round picks out of it, the idea of trading the number 1 overall pick would be so much more appetizing for me because you're largely going to trade it to a team, I would assume, who is desperate and trying to move up from somewhere in the top 10. And what are the odds going to tell us about that team that's that desperate? They're probably going to suck next year.
Right.
You're going to suck next year. Like, you're going to have to. Like, that would be too enticing for me to pass up. But I certainly understand the idea behind the quarterback, and you got to sell tickets, and let's get our guy in here and start selling jerseys and all that. They were polled who is the best prospect in the class, regardless of position. I thought the breakdown was interesting. Arvell Reese, the linebacker from Ohio State, got 5 votes.
Real versatile linebacker, that Arvell Reese.
Could be an edge, could be an outside backer, play him in different ways. Somewhat similar to the Micah Parsons conversation coming out. Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame got 3 votes, the running back, obviously. Caleb Downs got a vote, and Fernando Mendoza got a vote. So you had one with the top quarterback, and then the other 3 are guys that you're going to hear included a lot. It's just ironic that all 3 of them play at positions that are in high-value positions of the first round. We've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
We also, they asked multiple players, this was during Super Bowl week, to finish up the story to culminate, and they were asking different guys in the Super Bowl players that they're most excited to go against when they come into the NFL.
I think last year's it was Shador and Travis Hunter, wasn't it?
Of course. Like all this talk about Colorado, I can't wait to see those guys in the next level. Leonard Williams of the Seahawks was asked, and he answered Mendoza. He said, quote, he looks like a great, humble kid. He just looks like he's happy to be out there wherever he's at. I think that time attitude combined with his athleticism, playmaking ability, he's going to change a locker room wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Said being in the league for 11 years is not always about your ability to play. It's about your ability, especially a quarterback, to influence a team, his demeanor and his nature, the way he is to his core. You can see that. They went around, Gonzalez said he's most looking forward to welcoming Jordan Tyson, the Arizona State wide receiver. They have some back history there.
Which is interesting because he actually fell on Benjamin Robinson's falling category.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Not rising. Not a lot, but
he was such a big deal in college. It'd be interesting to see why he's falling in the draft. So I don't know. There's a fun read and a fun look through of NFL GMs who are getting ready for the draft, anonymously speaking about what they would do with the number 1 overall pick and who the best player in the draft is. It is right around the corner.
So how much longer till the NFL nixes this anonymous report from being filed since we can't get grades on franchises anymore?
Is there anything negative in here about Woody Johnson? If there's not, then I think we're safe. Then I think we can keep this one. But until then, I don't know, man.
What do you think it was? Was it the Bengals constant F grading, or do you think it was actually the Chiefs surprisingly being the worst locker room? Like, the Chiefs popping up on that list was stunning, was it not? Because they were in the midst of winning Super Bowls.
It wasn't stunning for me as somebody who's been around the stadium and knows how much of a dump it is. Like, that area sucks.
But you think building a locker room up would not be anything to that franchise.
You would think.
Make it, maybe outside's a little dumpy, but the inside you could make really nice.
How many, this is almost a tough question to answer live, so we can take a moment, but how many Nepo owners, because the Hunt family's a Nepo owner. He inherited from his dad, and his daughter's going to inherit it. She's an Instagram influencer who gets all dolled up and a bunch of injections and all that.
Sure.
So it's going to stay in the family for a long time. How many Nepo owners are not cheap?
Well, I don't think the Patriots will be, because that's around the corner.
Okay.
I don't think the Cowboys are. Just think they make their contract.
Well, it hasn't been a Nepo.
Stupid.
It hasn't changed hands
you mean
yet.
Currently,
like a Nepo owner. Because as I'm rolling through my head, I'm thinking, what's the story right now in Chicago? They're being cheap. They might leave the city of Chicago.
Cheap for a stadium is the norm for any sport. Cheap on personnel is different.
I think there's a combination of both.
Who's not?
I'm not saying
how many sports owners are not cheap in the stadium. We want what we want. You better pay for it. Regard.
A lot of the new owners are not that. A lot of the new owners are more willing, I think, across sports to foot more of the bill in order to get what they want done. In
Really?
LA, how much money did Ballmer get from California?
Well, Ballmer's like an exception to the rule, though.
How much did they pay for SoFi Stadium down there?
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
I think a lot of that was privately financed.
Well,
I think
that's a unique situation because part of the deal was building also some NFL offices, the NFL Network studios,
so the
and
NFL
some
kind
other
of helped
things
with that.
there.
I'm just saying I think the newer owners have more money to play with because they are rich themselves
Yeah.
and they have built up their net worths. Like Denver's building a stadium, and I don't know all the details behind it, but you're not seeing this hand-wringing public. And that's certainly a very liberal city. Denver, Colorado is a very liberal city.
Yeah, but
they're not bending
is
over
Kroenke
backwards.
the richest NFL owner?
Kroenke's the richest NFL owner.
Is he richer than the Walmarts that just bought the Broncos? What's their...
Yeah, if he's not the richest, then he's second richest.
Because they just paid like $10 billion for the Broncos a couple of years ago, and they're already building a new stadium.
The only thing I think about the
it.
Walton family is as the young, it's been divvied up amongst all of the kids. So
Sure.
Sam Walton, his worth of what it was one time, but
yeah,
as
it's
been
Walton
dispersed.
first. Tepper is second.
Tepper, yeah, you forget about Tepper.
Yeah, it says Kroenke is 18. It says he's behind the Hunt family.
Really? I don't buy that. Yeah.
That might be just from revenue from team stuff, though.
Very well could be, because the Chiefs are certainly making a lot of money. And I know that they're not all the same, and a lot of people will do what it takes to win on the field. To me, there is the sentiment of when you've inherited something and you haven't had to work for a lot, they're not bending over backwards.
The Bengals are cheap.
Bengals are this way.
Right?
The Chiefs are this
The
way. The Bears are this way.
Yeah,
The
Raiders
Lions
are
have been this way
notoriously cheap.
forever with the Ford family. It's just the Saints have a little bit of this down there.
Yeah, and the weird thing is when some of those Nepos decide, like the Lions right now, I think are willing to spend.
Yeah, because they finally hired a right coach.
We've seen with the Saints in the past when they were winning a Super Bowl and they're in contention a lot during the Breeze Payton era.
Yeah.
Willing to do it. Now, not so much. They're in a weird spot now because it's since passed and been handed over. But yeah, I think outside of the stadium stuff, if we just disregard that part of the conversation, it's a good observation by you. I think a couple Nepo hires will prove to go against the grain.
Sure, some could end up being better. You could argue in Dallas, Jerry's been so bad the last 30 years that his
Steven
kids
might
could
be
be
better
better
off.
than him because it's been a disaster.
I also think Steven's going to hire a general manager when Jerry kicks the bucket. He'll
What's
really run the organization.
If you go outside of the NFL, too, what's the sentiment about the Yankees right now?
Yeah.
You're still spending,
Choosing to
but
be a little cheap in
Hal
some
ain't
ways.
spending like Daddy was.
Well, no. And how much money you're making from your TV
A
contracts.
lot of money.
and-
You got money to spend.
Yeah, I think New England's going to continue to be a big spender even once Robert Kraft kicks the bucket. So I think you got some Nepos that are growing up in a lifestyle or familiarity with the organizations being good that they're like, we can't lose this.
Colts seem like a bit of that right now. They might be
She seems to
advancing
be
it. She
in,
seems
yeah.
to be all in and willing to spend whatever
Yeah.
it will take in order to do it.
But some of the owners just too money-wise are a lot different than the others.
A little bit more liquid cash in some situations. We'll play the other bit of fun with audio from Mario and Kirby coming up. Also, a play on Mario that is weird to think about, but I'll explain what that is. Also, an idea that's getting implemented. Would we like to see it in the National Football League, or is this a bridge too far? All that's still to come, but first, here's Sprague with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers trying to double up in the win column before embarking on a 5-game Eastern Conference road trip. It'll be tough. The Timberwolves come to Moda Center tonight for a 7 o'clock tip. Naz Reid questionable from Minnesota with a right shoulder issue. Denny Avdia ruled out due to his troublesome back. T-Wolf 6.5-point favorites. NFL announcing the Detroit Lions will be the designated home team for the international game in Munich, Germany in 2026. The specific date of that game will be announced later this spring with the release of the full season schedule. Ian Cunningham, the GM of the Falcons, announcing on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta that indeed Kirk Cousins will be released when the new league year starts March 11th. To Major League Baseball, the Braves have extended starter Chris Sale on a one-year, $27 million contract for 2027. It also includes an option for 2028 at $30 million. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the
Blows your mind walking inside that building and seeing new seats and bathrooms and all this stuff. You're just like, what? Is this a place that used to smell like old, stale popcorn and hot dogs from 1983? Yes, it is, Andrew, but it's delightful now. One listener chiming in on the idea of Nepo owners being cheap.
Yeah.
Saying one of the big reasons why maybe it's not quite the case with new ownership groups is that they're all groups, if you will.
Sure.
You have multiple people buying in. Like, we're getting that with the Blazers. Dundon's the primary guy. But what percentage does he own with the Blazers?
I don't know what the percentage breakdown's going to be.
It's over 50 to be the primary owner. I
Pan
get
Express
that.
money's coming in, too,
But you got
and that's going to be a lot of money.
And isn't there?
There's a couple other backers locally, yeah.
Which is encouraging locally. But
that's a good point, though. You got other people that are invested.
It's not some lady who's like, my dad bought this for $38 in 1926.
Well, and Mark Davis is used usually as a
Mark Davis
punchline.
Another good example.
Hasn't been good at all. We make fun of the haircut. He makes at minimum $100 million a year.
Every year.
So, like, the idea that he's choosing to be cheap is like, hey, man, it's not like you're not making any money on this thing.
You're doing fine, okay? Let's cut back on the PF Changs. This is going to be a little awkward if it ends up happening. Awkward maybe is not the right word. Maybe you can think of a better word for me. We realize hurricane season is right around the corner. It's upon us in the summertime. It just kind of never goes away. 2026 hurricane season. So I can't remember specifically. Maybe Science Swag can have an answer on this. There's a certain list of names that they could choose from every year. You go down, so every hurricane you go down the list.
At the start of each year, there's an alphabetical.
Are there names that haven't been picked? Is that how they're going about this?
Well, there's a rotation.
Curious.
You can't use the same one for a certain number of years.
But there's is there a staple of?
I don't know. How do they pick the names that are applicable for hurricane names?
Because they're such basic names, and I'm like,
well, there's one on this list
named before
that people have identified. What is a state that can occasionally get hit by hurricanes? Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You want to know one of the names on this list as a potential hurricane name this year?
Many.
Cristobal.
Cristobal.
That is one of the potential Atlantic storm hurricane names for 2026.
You
could have Hurricane
Center,
Cristobal hit Florida.
The list is there, and it's all the way through 2030.
Okay.
So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M.
Now,
would you want to be a hurricane?
If this is a Category 2, he wants this.
You think he does?
Oh, it's great for his brand.
Name recognition, brand recognition.
Category 1, 2.
5, Cat 5, you don't want Cat 5. You don't want devastation.
No, you can't have that.
Deaths and power outages just like,
you gotta
hey,
avoid that.
Little windy, little rainy.
If you tell me I'm a Cat 1,
You're all about
Hurricane
it.
Sprague, I mean, it kind of lines up for him, too, being a hurricane. That's odd. Why is that a name?
The other names on the list are Arthur. Bertha. Hurricane Bertha.
Yeah.
Hurricane Dolly.
Yep.
Hurricane Edward.
Okay.
Hurricane Faye. F-A-Y.
Yep.
Gonzalo.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah.
Gonzalo's a cool name.
Isaias.
Isaias, I think is how you would pronounce it.
I-S-A-I-S.
Sure. I believe you.
Believe it. Josephine, Kyle, Leah.
But wait, where do they generate the names from?
I have no idea.
I want to know.
There's a Nana on here. You could be a Hurricane
Since
Nana.
1953, Atlantic tropical storms have been named from lists originated by the National Hurricane Center. They are maintained updated through a strict procedure by an international committee of the World Meteorological Organization.
Teddy's also on this list. I'm kind of pulling for Teddy. So I could turn on the news and be like, dude, you're on the news.
Gonna have to be a lot of storms before we get to
Teddy. It's a teaser at the
Has there been a Hurricane Jason before?
I don't believe so.
A Hurricane Andy?
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever heard of Hurricane Brandon.
Let me Google it really quickly.
Andrew,
sure.
There's been an Andrew, yeah.
There was a
I guess that's
bad
true.
one.
That
in
is
Florida.
my legal name.
I don't know how long ago was that now. I believe it hit Homestead, Florida, like Hurricane Andrew was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
There's never been an Atlantic hurricane named Jason.
No. I don't think there's one named
Brandon.
Brandon.
Appeared on the list. Let me see. Brandon, has there been there was a tropical cyclone Jason in 1987 in the Australian region. That's where it was developed, so you're down under. Let's see. Has there been a Brandon?
It's got to be odd when it's like a cat.
Hurricane Brandon began as a tropical wave on June 27th.
This year?
Became organized. No, I'm trying to.
This past year?
What year?
Hold on. What year was it? It's sending me to some weird hypothetical hurricane fandom.
It's just, when you're a hurricane Category 5 and it's your name, it's got to be an odd.
It's not ideal, dude.
It's just weird.
It's like imagine your
this
name
sucks.
Your last name is Epstein.
Yeah.
It's tough.
The Ravens play-by-play guy.
It's tough out there right now.
Jerry Sandusky.
No, not that one. No.
Yeah.
I promise. I'm not related.
So they skip Q.
Every time you go publicly, I change my last name.
Yeah.
If your name was Jerry Sandusky.
We met a golf pro once,
Epstein.
and her last name was a politician's name. And
It
we
was.
were like, hey, and she went, No. I've had to
No.
address this a million times. No.
And I don't even think it was her name. I think she married into it.
Yeah.
So she inherited
the
the name.
politician name. Yeah.
I mean, there's certain ones out there that I'd be like, I'd just get rid of the connotation. I would recommend the entire family do it.
Andy Epp.
If my name was Andy Epstein right now, yeah, dude.
It'd be tough.
I'm going to the courts. Pick a new last name.
Sports radio show out there with that last name.
How fun would that be to be able to create your own last name, too?
Bob and Epstein in the morning.
You could get like a...
Tough.
Dude, yeah.
Terrible.
Although you're showing up in a lot of Google searches probably. Maybe you get more
you don't
get
want
more
to show up on
viewers.
those- No.
Do you have to put a disclaimer at the start of the show before
I
you
think you
begin it
change
every
the
day?
name. I think we're to the point where you change the name.
Welcome back to Epstein and Brandon here. What? Is that
No, the name of your
My
show
name's Rob,
becomes No
actually.
Relation.
Yeah.
That's what the name
No
of your show is.
relation with Let's Go Brandon and Epstein. That's a hell of a show right there. Let's
Those
do
were
this.
fun for about 5 years. A lot of Let's Go Brandons out there. I'm like, cool, I'm a bumper sticker now.
Well, Hurricane Cristobal might hammer Florida. Mario Cristobal also hammered Florida. They tag team. So after taking shots at each other, they said, let's take shots at Florida because this thing's happening down in Gainesville.
Also, being in Damascus, I was always a bumper sticker right next to the other bumper sticker that had a cross that said, love, grace, and forgiveness. And literally next to it, let's go Brandon. I'm like,
hashtag blessed.
How are
Hashtag
you
blessed.
a person? How are you real?
Let's gang up on Florida together. What do we say?
I don't know why you're over here laughing too now. No, Summerall. I gotta ask you a question. Come out. Is your daughter is a realtor? Did I hear that
Talking to
right?
Sprague
Is she
now.
the best realtor in Gainesville? Yeah. One of the best. Okay. Well, you're the fourth coach I've played since being at Georgia, so she's getting a lot of money sold houses. She's going through them. And I have tremendous respect for this town. I had no idea how great a basketball town this really was. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm in enemy territory too. I got a feeling some of you are on Kirby's side. But no, you guys are super professional. I never felt so welcome in enemy territory, except last year at the Swamp, 41-17. But
Double team in Summerall, Florida.
Summerall's like, dude, I just got here, man.
Yeah,
You give me a break here?
Dude, I've been reading about Summerall a little bit, and we haven't gotten to it, but he's like one of these old school, you will earn your Gator logo on your helmet guys.
It works for some and others it doesn't. I
Well-
remember a coach who got criticized for this.
Yeah.
When Mike McDonald was hired in Seattle, he did a lot of this. He took down the banners of all their, not the banners, but like the murals of
The
the
accomplishments,
championship
right?
teams.
Yeah.
They had a basketball hoop, I think, in the team
it
room.
down.
He was like, get rid of the hoop, no more ping pong.
Well, Lamar did that this year, and it kind of worked for the Ravens,
And
turn
they're-
their season
yeah.
around a little bit. But
Everybody's like, oh, look at this red ass. He's not going to win. And then he won a Super Bowl 2 years later.
I imagine he operates Summerall as a guy that actually wants this. He's like, good, keep it
Bring
coming.
it on.
Keep it coming, Kirby.
Bring it on.
Haven't won a title in a while. Mario, you can't win your conference. Let's go. Let's keep playing.
He said, one of our P1s, I dated a girl in college right at the exact time. Her name was Katrina.
Yeah, I was just going to say Katrina was a tough one.
That's a tough one right there. Hurricane Andrew, people are saying, was the costliest hurricane in U.S. history
Jeez.
prior to Katrina. I don't remember Hurricane Andrew. I don't remember it, but I guess I I brought some power. I brought some heat back in the day. So there you go. Hurricane names and taking jabs at Florida together. Also, Winterhawk tickets. Nice little segment. Let's get to this. It has become the copycat league for certain rules. Do we want them to follow anymore? I'll explain. Get to that next. Mail sack top of the hour. Back after this on The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Lay and Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years.
Shepard uses a Capella screen. Now it's Thompson. 5 to shoot. Amen. Wanders in towards Sensabaugh. Tried to draw a foul. Comes back to Shepard. Shepard with another one triple. That's true.
Yeah, NBC on the call, that one. Not a great second game there. Reed Shepard for 3. That put Houston up 30. Hey, guess what? The Jazz suck. The Rockets win this one behind Jabari Smith, Kevin Durant, and a season-high 34 assists.
That had to have been a night because those are Peacock games, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, wait, our other options are Kings, Grizzlies, or Jazz, Rockets?
Yikes.
How did we not foresee this on a Monday night?
Yeah, Jazz were on a Peacock game. You know what? Laying wood. The Houston Rockets brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 60 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. You can visit them at Southeast Stark Street or online at mrplywoodinc.com.
All right, Millsack coming up top of the hour. We have reached franchise tag season, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to that part of the offseason. First one already handed out. Come on down. Kyle Pitts Sr.
Yeah.
Getting tagged by the Atlanta Falcons after a really good year. I did not realize in the game against Tampa in December, he became the first tight end since Shannon Sharp to have a game with 150-plus receiving yards and 3 touchdowns.
He actually had a good year. I'm curious to ask you.
Yes. The tag number, by the way, for him, $16.3 million. That's how much he's going to make next year.
So he's had 68 catches, 28 catches, 53 catches, 47 catches, 88 catches. He's had 1,000 yards once. He almost had 1,000 yards this year.
He was just short, right? But more tutties this year?
Yeah. And he had 5 touchdowns this year. It's the most he's had in a season. He averaged 10.5 yards a catch. The year before, 12.8, 12.6, 12.7, and 15.1. How are we evaluating his career?
Disappointment with optimism. Is that possible? Because he has been, based on the billing coming out, he has not lived up to that hype, and I think it's unfair to say that he has, although he was good this year. And let's also be fair to him, too.
The quarterback
this season, and largely, their quarterback play's been terrible.
Yep.
His entire career. Mm-hmm. And this year in particular. Like, if we don't think anything of Kirk Cousins, I'm not going to criticize Kyle Pitts for anything. This was the first year in his career, though. I shouldn't say that because he was decent as a rookie. But the first time after that.
He was actually good as a rookie.
He had a good rookie year.
The level of good we thought,
which is also tough because he's, it's just top 5 pick and maybe the standard was too high or the expectations were too high. He's only 25 years old. Mm-hmm. He's not one of these guys that came out at 20. Like, Bo Nix was like 25 when he got drafted, man. He's 25 now, and he's up for an extension in the NFL. And so I disappointing is fine to say, but I think internally if I were a Falcons fan, it would be 60-40 disappointment with 40 being he's only 25. He just had a really good year. I'm optimistic about which direction this is going.
But it was season 5.
It was. I know.
So he's averaging right now in 5 seasons. He's averaging in a 17-game season 62 catches, 780 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I mean, those aren't dominant numbers. They're not terrible. They're not top 5 pick numbers, but they're not terrible.
Well, that's the problem. He's a top 5 pick.
I know. I think we just have to change the way at this point in his career the way we view him. He's certainly not the once-in-a-generation tight end.
So are they going to pay him?
Well, they're paying him for one more year.
I know, but are they going to pay him?
What's his stat line? Does he do the same thing again?
What if it's very similar to this year?
Then you absolutely pay him. If he's close to 1,000 yards, 5, maybe more touchdowns, averaging, what did he average per catch? Like he felt like.
Well, this year he averaged 10.5. I mean, for his career, it's 12.6.
So down slightly from the career. He's always been a big explosive play guy. I get that. But you're averaging more than 10 yards a catch. You're scoring me 5+ touchdowns and roughly 1,000 yards for a tight end. Like, yeah, dude, I'm going to pay you.
Do you pay him Kittle money? Do you pay him McBride money? $19 million?
I would.
He's going to make 16 this year 16. On a 1 year.
If you're willing to pay him 16 for 1 year and he's only 25, how long is that deal going to be? Probably 4 years.
Probably 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. Yeah. So you're going to be under the age of 30 by the time the contract's up.
Uh-huh.
I'm not worried about the age and any of that. So, yeah, I would have no problem giving him 3 years somewhere in the 18, 19 million a year range.
Okay, so Kittle's hurt right now, but if Kittle's healthy, do you take him or Kittle? For a year.
For a year, I would take Kittle.
Okay, him or McBride?
McBride.
Yeah. Him or Hawkinson? I think he's an underrated player.
I do too.
Him or Andrews?
I think I would take Pitts. I would take Pitts.
Him or Warren?
Loveland and the young. I mean, Loveland and Warren being young in their careers,
right? Like where is he?
There's almost two different questions here, though. Like, is it just for a stopgap year, or am I projecting forward?
I think that's the tough part.
If I'm projecting forward, I'm taking Kyle Pitts over George Kittle. George Kittle just ruptured his Achilles. When's he going to play again?
Well, he's saying he's actually be able to come back next year.
I mean, substation, dude. You're too close to
it. That might be it. The interesting thing is, like, do you beat Kittle by $100,000? Because if you beat him, and let's say you get to that point where his season was okay and you paying him 16 this year, he makes 19.2 on a 4-year deal. You imagine Warren and Loveland and Bowers.
I mean, they're all going to reset that market,
right?
Yeah.
And then, like, what is the top end tight end money? What's the value of a premier tight end?
To me, it's up there in certain. It's not a left tackle or a quarterback or an edge rusher. I'm not going to argue that.
It's a weird position.
But I put it higher on a lot of stuff. I think they're a security blanket for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They can help you tremendously in the run game, the balance that they can bring, play action pass. Like there's a lot of stuff that you could utilize there. We just got through a dynasty in Kansas City.
I know.
And the one mainstay on their offense outside of Patrick Mahomes was what? It was a tight end.
Yeah.
And so the Niners have been a great team for a long time. Offensively, weapons have come and gone. Kittle's been the main constant there essentially the entire time. You can add a CMC or receivers can come and go. It's largely been Kittle is the mainstay. And so if you tell me that you think a guy can be that, I have no problem paying them $20 million a year.
Who's the best one in the league to you?
It's so weird because
McBride was.
From a statistical standpoint, you have to say McBride. You have to.
I know, but
I don't know if I would say he's the best tight end.
I think people would still pick Bowers. But McBride is...
I mean, he had 1,300 yards and 11 tuds this year. Those are great numbers.
Yeah.
And it's also...
You're talking about McBride, right?
Yeah, and also...
who was his quarterback?
He doesn't have one. They suck. They can't throw the football.
Jacoby Brissett for half the year.
And a midget. Like, he can't do anything. And so he's still got 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns, dude. So, yeah, I have to give it to him. I don't think I would say it's easy to go another direction because there's maybe guys you view as more athletic or talented. I also think he's part of the problem with him is the curse of the franchise that he plays with. There's something about Arizona that we don't care about, nor will we ever care about. And I think this largely hurt Larry Fitzgerald in his career, that he was one of the best wide receivers forever in the NFL. And there were a lot of times because whether they weren't doing anything in the playoffs, which they largely didn't, or they just were kind of a forgotten organization because the quarterback play was terrible, we didn't pay any attention to him. He wasn't talked about as much as he should have been. If you put Trey McBride in Dallas, in New England, and like just go on Green Bay, put it in Detroit with that offense, like just anywhere of these categories, he's talked about 10 times more than he is right now in Arizona.
Yeah. I did a poll question. Who's the best tight end in the NFL? McBride, Bowers, or other?
It's the Arizona Cardinal curse.
But but it is, but it isn't. NFL fans know who Trey McBride is.
They do. But I'm just saying he would be a bigger name if he played in a different market.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And I think more people would be eager to say he's the number one tight end in the NFL as opposed to, let me noodle on this.
If you're voting other on this, I think you're voting on the gamble of the future too.
Without a doubt.
You think it's going to be Warren. You think
Bowers.
It's going to end up being Loveland.
Yeah.
No, Bowers is on it.
Oh,
it's
you put him on the list.
Bowers
Okay.
or other.
Okay. So, you're gambling on the future of quarterback play. If you get it right and they continue to develop, you can maybe be better than that, but right now you can't get better than that. I didn't get to my rule change thing there. I'll kick that to the final hour of the show. Do we want to see this in the National Football League? One league is saying, hey, you don't want to change stuff? Hold our beer. We'll change stuff. We'll start, though, with the mail sack. Your questions welcome. 503-864-6326. Sports, non-sports, whatever you want to ask, fire them away. We'll answer next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Blazers making a quick stop at Moda Center tonight before they head back out on the road to start a 5-game East Conference road trip. It's the Timberwolves at Moda Center for a 7 o'clock tip on the Peacock Network. Denny Avdia is out, resting his troublesome back. Naz Reid questionable for Minnesota with a right shoulder issue. T-Wolves holding a 6.5-point favorites. NFL announcing the Detroit Lions will serve as the designated home team for their international game in Munich, Germany in 2026. Date of the game still to be announced. That'll come later this spring with the release of the full season schedule. The Atlanta Falcons have franchise tagged tight end Kyle Pitts Jr. They also announced that they will release quarterback Kirk Cousins on March 11th when the new league year begins. The Portland Fire still awaiting rules to be announced for the expansion draft in their inaugural season. The WNBA has set a March 10th deadline to get a new CBA done with the Players Association so that the season can start on time, May 8th. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks. Sports Network.
All right, welcome back in. Final hour, Dirt and Sprague, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your Tuesdays are off to a great start. Bottom of the hour, is this rule change a bridge too far, or would you like to see it? But as always, we begin the final hour. No farting around. We need a full allotment of time.
Mail sack. Mail sack.
Because not only do we have a pretty full sack today, but there's also a ton in the leftover sacks that I've just been piling up, and it's like we need some spring cleaning at some point. We need to get through all of the sack because it's a buildup of sack right now. So here we go. Mail sack question number 1. How smart were my wife and I for deciding against having our wedding in Puerto Vallarta in March this year? I tell you, man, you were 1 for 1 in marriage. That's a hell of a call right there.
Dude, if I'm in Puerto Vallarta right now, I am
pooping my pants.
Yeah,
pooping my pants.
I'm just like, I'm assuming this is it.
This is it.
I'm texting people like,
Love
hey,
you.
dude, it's over. Thought I had a great resort vacation.
Yep.
Not anymore.
I went to, last time I was in Mexico was 2018, I want to say. I remember it was pre-COVID, but it's all blur at this point.
Yeah.
And we went for spring break for a week. It was delightful.
Sure. I've been to PV.
And I've seen a lot of the videos over the weekend. Things certainly not going great. And I thought to myself, you never say never. I'm going to do the GM thing with the Raiders' number 1 pick. Never say never. Never.
Never.
I don't think I'm going back.
I haven't gone back since I went in 8th grade.
For this slim possibility.
Yeah. Also, there's the other side, like, hey, when this is done, it might be the cheapest, best time to go. Let me jump on those prices.
I am willing to do that with, like, places who get caught with food poisoning and then the lines aren't as long. Yeah. I'm willing to put my stomach through that because my stomach's on the fritz at all times anyways.
Sure.
I'm not willing to roll the dice.
The Board of Health has been through.
I don't even care about that, to be honest with you.
He's just saying it's not everything that you order there is going to give me food poisoning.
No, I'm going to roll the dice here, and it's, there's a 10% chance I'm sitting on the toilet for a day. All right, I'll take that gamble. I'm not rolling the dice with my life right now.
I have family supposed to go down at the end of March to Cabo.
Really? What's the protocol here? What are we doing?
If I know them as well as I think I know them, they're going to go, and they're not going to care.
Not going to care.
They're going to say I'm being dramatic.
Now, I certainly don't know how much of this is, like, how widespread is it? I'm not going to pretend to know all the details.
Friends that just got back from Cabo, and they didn't see. Now, I don't know if.
When did they get back? Because this didn't start till this weekend.
Oh, okay.
For those who don't know what happened,
they got back Wednesday or Thursday last week.
Mexican authorities killed the leader of the biggest cartel in Mexico, and the cartel has responded by essentially just
going on a rampage,
shooting everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, not fully, but they're burning cars, they're riding around roads, they're barricading people in There was chaotic scenes at the airport.
We have a war in Mexico right now.
We essentially do. There are people running out onto the tarmac at the airport trying to escape because they were invading the airport essentially in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh my God, dude.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and no on that one, Bob. I'm gonna go ahead and pass.
Actually, I'm gonna bring that up in a group chat today. Like, you guys still doing this, or are you just not gonna care and just assume everything's good by the time your vacation's there?
Mail sack question: start, bench, cut, elk, moose, and caribou.
Meat?
I'm assuming meat.
I'm going to cut caribou. Never had it. I'm going to start.
I don't think I've ever had caribou either.
I'm going to start.
I'm going to start
elk.
Elk's pretty good.
And I'm going to bench moose, but moose is underrated good.
Yeah.
I've never had caribou.
It's been a long time since I've had moose. I know elk is good. I've eaten elk. Elk burgers are solid.
I just had moose meatballs. They were delicious.
Were they really? Moose meatballs?
It's super lean, so you're not going to get that fatty flavor from it, so there's a little taste.
The moose is a lean animal, huh? A lean fat?
So is elk.
Or a lean meat?
Yeah, lean meat.
Interesting.
Much leaner than what we're eating.
Has anybody eaten caribou out there? Let us know. Is it any good?
Yeah, I have not had caribou.
I assume caribou's like deer in terms of taste, and I'd rather have elk.
Well,
and
then
moose.
I would, if that's the case, I would put caribou at the top because
you're a big deer guy, huh?
Venison's your favorite.
Yeah.
Huh?
You do deer jerky, or you deer jerky guy?
I would more do elk or moose jerky.
Okay.
No, venison medallions. Nice demi-gloss.
Yeah, demi-glosses.
If somebody's delivering you, I had this in a group chat recently. If somebody's delivering you a, not surprise isn't the right word, but like, here's homemade jerky. I killed the animal. I made the jerky. Are you eagerly eating it? Is there a hair of hesitation?
Not with
jerky, I'm not really excited.
I had a buddy who was delivered jerky by somebody who makes the jerky, and he essentially, speaking of toilets, it was like 72 hours, and he was like, I can't stop going.
I'm not anti-jerky. I just also don't eat jerky very often.
I don't either.
I don't buy it.
I
think
like
it's
jerky,
expensive.
though. Yeah. If I'm around it, I love eating it, but I don't buy it very often.
I don't
well,
eat
if
that
it's
much
somebody
of it.
I know regularly, smokes and cooks and all of that sort of thing, then I'm probably okay.
Yeah. You're trusting the source?
Yeah.
Okay. Millsack, what household chore do you enjoy doing?
Laundry.
You enjoy laundry? What's wrong? You want some children's laundry? What's wrong with you?
No,
what a terrible.
I think that is a
chore.
little bit different with not having kids. If it's just your laundry, I don't mind it.
One load to do.
Yeah, but if you got multiple, I mean, I got a load of laundry in the machine
Well, first
almost
of all,
every day.
You clean your wife's?
Do you guys have joint laundry, or do you got your own baskets?
she keeps it
You ain't
separate,
folding
but
those
I will.
You got your own.
How do you fold panties?
You don't. You
No,
got a bunch.
I just kind of bunch them and put
There's
them, throw them.
there's a specific drawer in the dresser that's just
right.
underwear.
Just underwear.
Yeah. Underwear
And you
drawer.
just toss it in.
Right.
Here you go. Boom.
But no, the bulk of the time you're dealing with more clean stuff because you're just emptying the hamper or the basket in there.
Yeah.
And then you set the machine and then you're sitting on the couch for a half hour to 45 minutes.
You're not doing other chores in between time.
No.
There's time to kill.
Yes.
He's watching. Yeah, he's watching something. You know,
He's
he's
watching
something.
hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, first intermission, I got to go take it out of the washer, put it in the dryer. And then when you get to the folding, because I'm one of those people that's particular about how you fold it.
No way. You?
That's I don't
never
believe
guessed that about
you. I didn't see that coming.
So
I'll say this about laundry. When I have to transfer from washer to dryer, I don't know if this happens to other people. I get so easily aggravated by the string on my basketball shorts that when I'm yanking,
It's caught in the
it's
thing.
just caught, and now
It's not fun.
I'm pulling 5 different things, and then it's like stretching it out, and I'm like,
well, that's why the last
so annoying.
time we bought a washer because it conked out or whatever, we got the one that doesn't have that post in the middle of it that stuff gets caught on.
I don't have the post either.
Oh.
It's just
What's it
shorts.
getting?
It's strings of basketball shorts getting looped into like a shirt that's looped into jeans, and so it's one
the clothes
big,
are all tied together. Yeah, like a
yeah,
ball.
it's super annoying.
I have that every time I wash the comforter. When we put the comforter cover, when we
Yes.
put that in, it
The
always
duvet
ball.
cover.
Or the duvet cover. Every
Yeah.
time you got to unravel
know.
that thing like it drives me nuts.
Probably, would you say cooking is a chore?
Chore adjacent.
Probably
it's-
cooking if it counts. If it's not, vacuuming. Nothing
Yeah.
feels more rewarding than when I vacuum.
I'm with you there.
Just seeing the carpet look the way it looks,
Yep.
or the hardwood have no dog hair.
Yeah, it feels great.
Undefeated.
I'm with you. I would go from a rewarding feeling. Vacuuming is number one. It's not even close.
Also, the kitchen. Like
Just cleaning the
general
kitchen?
scrubbing of the counters. You know, I have to scrape my stove top because I got the electric.
Yeah.
Just the vibe of a clean kitchen. Oh, the sink's empty.
Good feeling. I see Swag's point on laundry in terms of there's
most-
very little actual chore that's being done.
Exactly.
Carry the basket, dump,
Right.
Yeah.
press button, move, press button. Really, the only part
And
of it
then
is the
fold.
folding, but you could
But I
sit
can
on the
bring
couch.
the folding out. I stand
Yeah.
behind the couch because I kind of fold things over the couch and make piles.
So
on
you
the
stand
back
there
of
and you
it,
fold and you're watching
TV.
yeah,
or
Sunday,
whatever
you got a
do.
golf tournament on or
Yeah.
something, and you're just folding laundry. I see the
And
argument
you're
there.
mostly dealing with clean stuff rather the machine's doing the work.
That is very true. You're
as
not handling
opposed to
dirty
scrubbing toilets
undies.
and bathtubs and that sort of thing.
Yeah, good point. Mail sack question: at what age is a kid cussing no longer cute but problematic, such as you were scared they will say it to the wrong person?
Probably like, well, if they're like 5 and dropping F-bombs a lot, you're a little concerned.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because it goes from
There's
like the
one
cute
from
ones off
they
to-
accidentally drop one.
Yeah.
And everybody laughs and giggles.
If every time Teddy does something, drops it, makes a mistake, stubs his toe, and he drops a S-bomb, you got a problem.
When you get a call from the
He's
kindergarten
currently saying,
teacher saying,
let me say it slow. Shoot.
We have some questions about
Shoot-o?
Like,
Oh, shoot.
Shoot is what he's saying.
But it
right
probably
now.
sounds sometimes like
occasionally.
Yeah.
When he says sit, it sounds like
a little SH in there a little
I
bit.
try and not laugh because every time I want to laugh, but I know if I laugh, it's going to egg on more.
Once they get to be about 8, 9, or 10, I think you can have the discussion with them
about the words. Yeah.
Well, time and place appropriateness.
I think I got in trouble in
sort of
kindergarten on the bus for saying the F-bomb a bunch. I was a cussing kid.
I got away with the cussing. We knew when to do it at recess. When the teachers weren't around, we would cuss a lot, actually.
Yeah, I let them fly.
And I never did it in the classroom or around parents. Like, we always were really good and careful about when we
You got to be
did
smart
curse.
about it. You got to be smart.
You got to be super
It's a challenge
smart.
for the kids, you know?
Yeah.
Time and place. Mail sack question: what is the most you would parlay the number of games for March Madness?
Well, you did this last year. Would you get 10?
10, yeah, and I forgot to cash a ticket.
Pretty remarkable to get 10 hits.
I'll probably, I don't
I'll do a big one.
I'm talking like a $5 bet. I'm not putting $50 on this thing. Like, it's fun, dude. You're there for a day to throw something on. It's usually cooked one game in. You're like, damn it, there goes that parlay. But in the off chance you hit the first 4 or 5 , oh, baby, you're set up.
You do like the morning session, maybe 4 or 5.
It's session based. Yeah, I think that's a good poll.
And then in the out, you're like, all right. Because there's always a couple games that's like, I have no idea.
I think I'm doing a lot of over-unders this year.
You're going to go over-under?
I don't know anything about these teams. You could take big point spreads if you want. I'm going to play over-unders because there's nothing more exciting than sitting a point away, final seconds, last possession.
Run the cover play!
Yeah.
Run the cover play.
The
I had a friend
over-under.
who said they went to Vegas. They were in Vegas one time for the first round, and they just bet every game over, and they just rooted for guys to score.
Just score.
Every
Every
basket
bucket,
went
every
in.
shot.
Yeah! That's the more enjoyable way to do it.
Way more enjoyable. Although a lot of unders are probably going to hit, that's so much more fun to gamble on.
I don't know if I enjoy, aside from my team hitting a bet, I don't know if I enjoy winning a bet in the NFL more than just betting the over and watching
Points.
2 teams I don't really care about and going, touchdown!
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, you did.
It's like having fantasy football on both sides. You just want offense and touchdowns. Just give me nothing but sevens, man.
Yeah.
One more in here, and then we'll go and break it up. Second half of the mail sack coming up. Morning, guys. Mail sack. Anyway, we could start getting a hockey segment once a week. I'm wanting to get more into the sport, but don't really know where to turn and llisten and don't want to listen to anyone else. Thank you. I have kicked around the idea. We had Dos Minutos famously back in the day.
Yeah. Power play?
Just, 2. I'm not
You don't
going
have
to be a
2
full
minute.
segment, but
Just do a
just
power play.
Here's what's going on. Here's what's here's how the standings look. This guy's on a heater.
You don't have to convince Dirt and I.
No, you don't. It'll be in the back half of the show.
Can we
we'll
have
throw
skating background ambiance music the way we have for our baseball
I think we
stuff?
have the old the ESPN music in there.
Well, we have ESPN music, but
It
you're
was
saying
really
you want to hear
nostalgic.
some skates and some stick and puck and
I think I'd rather
crashing into the board.
Give me some ambiance, maybe an organ chiming in every now and then.
Okay.
Love a good organ
Let me see
sound.
what I can find.
But yeah, dude, the Stanley Cup playoffs are around the corner. We'll slip a little bit in every
Look,
week.
the hockey thing is, of course, like everything else in our lives, it's become political in some ways. Not them winning, just the
Sure, everything becomes
all the stuff
political now.
after
Yeah.
the winning. I think it's the most biggest approval rating universal agreement we'd have as a country at this point. Kenny Albert.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
Him and Eddie Olczyk were phenomenal.
Wow, they were good.
So good.
What's the other guy's name?
Eddie Olczyk.
Eddie
Oli-
Olczyk.
He's the
Eddie
Kraken
Olczyk?
color guy.
He's one of the Kraken
God, he
guys.
was good.
He was the color guy for the Blackhawks, and they were like, nah, we're good. Let him walk.
Eddie Olczyk and Fran Fraschilla the last couple days for me as color guys. Just
Eddie Olczyk actually got a
Hitting
lot of flowers in Canada as well because some people were watching because they obviously have the Canadian broadcasting fees or different broadcast teams for it. And he was applauded for he didn't turn into what is very easy to do in those moments and be the
USA guy.
Yes,
I thought
unabashed.
they were great.
Like when they had the penalty that should have been too many men on the ice when it touched, he's
usually the first one to point that out.
He was like, they got lucky. That was a miracle right there that they didn't get that called. So he see what you did there. So he got a lot of flowers in Canada. They were great. Kenny Albert, by the way, had a great picture of calling the women's Frozen Four. He tweeted this out after the game, calling the women's Frozen Four, and the color analyst on the game was the Hughes brothers' mom.
Wow.
Who was also a big-time hockey player when she was younger, and it was the female, Frozen Four. It was one of the first gigs that he had broadcasting, calling college hockey, and she was his color analyst. And he sent out a funny tweet. He was like, I wonder what her kids are up to now. He just called a game winner in the gold medal game.
Yeah, so, I thought him and Eddie Olczyk were phenomenal on that broadcast.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, we'll give you some more hockey. Not a ton, but we'll slip it in every now and then. Don't worry. We'll go to the sin bin for a couple of minutes every week. More mail sack around the corner. We got room for a few more if you want to submit them, and we'll answer the rest of them next on The Fan.
and 1080 AM.
All right, welcome back in. More mail sack for you. It's a Tuesday. It's delightful.
Mail sack. Mail sack.
Get to a rule change coming up in a moment. Mail sack question. The Braves announced they're taking over their own TV broadcast and doing it in-house.
Yep.
Should more teams be doing this?
A lot of teams are.
I think they are, yeah. We did it.
Some
That's
of
what
them are
we're doing.
teaming up, and they're figuring that out, but, like, you're getting more and more teams. Like, the Mariners are going to do this, too.
Yeah, do we have an answer on what just streaming for the M's? Are they on a channel anywhere?
What I don't know what the channel is.
I don't know. There probably will be on something in Seattle.
They have to be, right? Like, just the Blazers are doing their 2.2 channel,
Like a
but then
King
Blazer
option or
Vision.
something.
But they will be MLB Productions, MLB Television, whatever that entity is producing.
Can people in Portland buy it and not be blacked out?
Yes,
I think
but
so,
it'll
yeah.
cost you extra.
Oh, of course.
On top of the MLB TV thing. Yeah. I think it's like $60 for the season for that.
Jesus.
So if you pay $200 for the entire year, you get all of the out-of-market games and your in-market for those teams. I think there's 20 or 21 of them that MLB is basically, providing access to.
So it's a fascinating new trend of a lot of teams doing this. They
just need to end the local blackout rule and make it
It's
simple.
such a dumb rule.
Yeah, that's the next big step. Mailsack, if you had to bet $100 right now, would you bet that the Portland Fire play a game this year?
Yeah, man, they're setting a deadline on this because their season's supposed to start in May.
We don't even have a roster.
Well, there's no rules for the expansion draft.
No.
Yeah, we don't have those rules yet.
We don't have players.
I will say but I will say it will be slightly delayed.
I don't
way
see there's any way starting on time. I mean,
it won't start on time.
They're working on the peripheral things and housing and that sort of stuff.
I believe they came to an agreement on that. The housing part.
Yeah, they've got something. Well, the owners finally included something about housing in their latest proposal, but at the end of the day, the biggest crux of the issue is, are we taking the players' piece of salary out before other expenses, which is what the players propose. The owners want to propose that it's they take it out of operating income, not gross income. And until they solve that, nothing gonna get done.
When is the WNBA finals usually? August?
September, October.
September? Oh, is it that late in the calendar year?
Yeah,
so you
the
just kick it back a little bit.
in September, and then the finals are sometime in October.
Are they always going to stay on? Are they doing an MLS thing, or is that always going to be their calendar?
I think that's always going to be their calendar.
I think that's going to be their calendar. I don't think they
Wouldn't
want
it be better to have the finals in like August? Nothing else really going on.
Well, I don't think they're in a position to
that.
compete with women's college basketball. I think women's college basketball would draw more than.
Well, sure, but women's college basketball wraps up when? I mean,
well, if you go through, early April,
about a week difference.
Yeah, so you're in April.
Yeah, and so you still need then train. They do a draft. They do a draft immediately. There's training camp, and then they start in May.
Yeah,
I mean,
guess that's true.
if you do March to August and try to end right before football starts and the regular season of the NBA gets going, yeah, I understand why.
I guess that's
but
unique
then you'd have
with
your
the draft
in the middle of the season.
The middle of the season. I didn't think about that aspect of it.
It's not like hockey. It's not like hockey or baseball where you're drafting
16-year-olds and you're like, we have the rights to them.
How cool would it be if you drafted before the college basketball season? Then you could watch your draftee play college hoops, and then they're going to come join the WNBA team.
Imagine if somebody drafted Audie Crooks like 7, like, what? Really? And then they watch like, oh my God.
Dude, she's dominating.
Steal a draft.
If you could pick anyone in sports to provide a state of sports message on a quarterly basis, who would be the best person to give the update?
The state of sports?
Like all of sports? That's so complicated to answer.
In the media?
I'm assuming media, yeah.
You
know what
Scott
the hell?
Van Pelt.
That's a good pick.
SVP.
Good
My guy
pick.
from the DC.
I'm jealous. I was going to go funny answer. That's a good answer.
What would your funny answer be?
Mad Dog Russo.
Everything would be broken and needs to go back to the way it was in 57.
We used to have our Celtics with plumbers. I can't top
I think it's
SVP.
SVP.
That's a good answer. Swag, agree? 3 for 3?
I agree. That was the first name that popped into my head.
Millsack question. Aside from Spanish, I give you the ability to immediately know one other language fluently. Which one are you choosing?
Japanese.
Ooh, because of the heritage?
Yeah, it'd be cool to know Japanese. That movie I cited earlier, Rental Family, is based in Japan.
Okay.
Be badass to visit Japan for like 2.5, 3 weeks and know Japanese.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, just for this summer. Or just
I think
in general?
one, it sounds cool.
It does
It's like
sound
a cool
cool, yeah.
language.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
Did I tell you?
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know.
Did I tell you?
That was a little Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards, but
Because
we'll
I
allow
wasn't
it.
exactly sure if that was I wasn't convinced.
It's one of my favorite scenes in that movie when they're at the movie theater
Yeah.
and they're trying to give the Italian accent.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Yeah.
Little gravelly American buongiorno there.
I think I would go Italian too, just for the cool factor. And of all the countries that I could go visit down the road, like bucket list,
Would either be
Italy's near
that
the
or
top of my list.
Portuguese?
Oh, Portuguese would be fun.
Because you've got, obviously, it would work in.
So it might be a dumb
Portugal,
question.
Spain.
How different is Portuguese from Spanish?
I don't know.
Is it like a cousin? Is it totally opposite?
It might be a cousin once removed.
Once
I
removed?
think they're less similar than people think. Plus, that's what they speak in Brazil.
That's
so.
the funny thing
Yes,
is
it
that
is.
I was watching a what's the Aquaman guys?
Jason Momoa?
I was watching Momoa did a movie with Batista, and they're just two brothers who get into trouble. And the beginning, he's Spanish talking his lady not to leave him, and she gets in the car and she goes, "And I'm from Brazil. I speak Portuguese, you idiot." He's just like, "Oh,
It's my bad. That one's on me.
I will say, though, my daughter rewatched the Toy Story series because she was sick all week last week. And she watches the third one, and I forget that there's a Spanish mode buzz. My God, the sexy nature of Spanish.
It is a sexy language.
As he's dancing around
Yeah.
the Jessie doll, just
It's-
speaking Spanish.
Antonio Banderas.
Puss in
Puss
Boots.
in Boots.
Mailside question. Outside of hockey, what was your favorite event to watch at the Olympics this year?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm a big curling fan.
I got.
Did you
bored of
see the
curling.
Canadian team after they won gold?
Were they
The
making
men
fun
or the
of the
women?
call out?
Oh, they came out and said, basically, choke on this gold medal, you
I mean-
bastards. We didn't cheat. We never cheat. It's like we have
To my
video
point
footage
earlier,
of you
a little
cheating.
surprising the Canadians coming out being and saying what
Yeah.
they're saying about stuff, man.
That one's a little more blatant because we saw you literally cheated. There's video evidence of you cheating.
According to them, they never cheat.
I mean, that's like seeing a needle go in somebody's butt and then turning around in the locker room and being like, "Nah, I didn't take steroids. I saw the needle in your butt."
I think of the events that I did see. Curling got boring to me. I was like, is this new? Did I see this one this morning during the show? I couldn't tell. I didn't follow up. I got kind of bored of it.
Yeah.
I would say the half pipe stuff was pretty spectacular. Did you see the skier crash on his side? It looked like he
No,
died.
I did not see that.
Oh, my God. It's one of the worst crashes I've ever seen. He was down on the ground for a hot minute. He eventually ended up getting up. I really enjoyed the half pipe stuff, skiing, snowboarding.
Okay.
And then probably the luge.
You're a luge guy?
I enjoyed the
Double
luge.
dude luge?
No, the single luge.
No, okay.
Not
I was thinking
skeleton.
of dudes.
Just the luge.
Just, okay.
Just going down 80 miles an hour by themselves.
Talk about grinding.
Yeah. Grinding the sled. No kidding.
Swag. Curling was you?
Yeah.
That's where you go?
Is that just because you think you could do it if you practice?
No,
Because it's
I
the most
actually-
likely?
I love the strategy that's involved.
Knock the thing off the thing.
Hit the thing, sweep hard.
Get it on the target, knock the thing
The
off.
house.
Are you a shuffleboard fan? Do you play a lot of shuffleboard in your free time?
I love shuffle.
Who doesn't love shuffleboard?
Well, I will play now. Which shuffleboard? The one with
The
the
ones at
big
bars.
Yeah, bars.
The big
Love
wood ones with
shuffleboard.
sand
Not
on
the,
the
yeah,
side.
not the ground shuffleboard.
No.
Nobody wants ground outdoor
No.
That
shuffleboard.
one sucks. You
No.
got
You
to
want
borrow one.
you want the sand on the
Yeah.
Oh, the
table,
silicone, yes.
the slide.
No,
I mean,
you give
that's
me a bar
dude.
that's got a big shuffle. That's the one thing.
I could do that all
like
night.
if
Are
I
you good?
ever set up the man cave in the garage.
A shuffleboard.
You got enough
That's-
space for it though. Those big tables.
I know.
It's just long,
well,
though.
they make
Yeah.
some shorter ones. I'm trying to
It's not
figure
the
out
same,
how
though.
long. Like
No,
is
no. Give me
12
the full length. That's not that
What
wide.
is it? 16 feet is
I
full
remember
length.
when I think so. I remember when I was a kid. One of my dad one year for Christmas, super stoked. I think it was one of those, and I'm now going through this of like, how do I buy a gift for me but get it for other people too?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of those like, how do I benefit from this? He
Right.
bought a pool table one year, and he put it together, and it turned into a little bit of a the place to be episode in Seinfeld. Where there's just angles, you're like,
sticks were at weird
dude, I mean,
angles.
the basement's not that small, but I can't. We're not a
Yeah.
full shot here.
Yeah.
And it's, we're kind of angling up and
He had
sitting
to
on
have
the
had
side.
help though. Those things are heavy.
I don't know. Actually, I've never asked him to this day because I remember we woke up and it went downstairs and there was a pool table.
and your basement's kind of an odd staircase down.
It's kind of
in
an
that
odd
house.
staircase down, and it's kind of long and skinny, so
Yeah.
it's not super wide. And
That
so
must
there
have
was,
been a pain in his ass.
and I hated it because that was my half of the basement to play my pretend hoops and be dunking and have my sweat and my headbands on and like,
So the
dude,
gift
this is
backfired.
my my basketball court. You just took away the middle of my. This is the 3-point line, dude. I can't shoot around the pool table. What the hell's happening right now?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Let's get one more in here quickly.
I got one.
Oh, what do you got?
Did you watch?
Watch what?
Pate's interview.
I did, yeah.
What'd you think? I didn't watch.
A massive waste of time, as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that was a very odd thing that we haven't talked about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really want to, but I knew it was going to be a waste of time. I was just curious how much of a waste of time it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it was worse than I thought.
I asked this Friday off the air because we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, what a weird thing to announce, because he was always not political guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what does he stand to benefit? And I never saw the benefit of it.
No, there's not one.
And it proved exactly what we said. Like, there was no purpose and reason to do that.
His argument in the aftermath of it was maybe I get him to say something that is not groundbreaking.
He doesn't follow the sport.
No, but he was hoping to get info out of him on NIL legislation, because that is continuing to be on the burner of, are they actually going to, is antitrust going to come back to where players can no longer sue the NCAA? You need congressional action in order to do that. That some people argue that's literally the only way you can fix the sport, because the only other option is to collectively bargain, and we're never going to there's too many players.
They're never going to want to do that.
It's never going to happen. So there's one option available to fix all this, and it's congressional action. And so that was the only sliver of all right, I guess I understood it. But the first question was about where are we at with all this college football stuff and blah, blah. And the answer was 2 minutes on the NFL kickoff rule.
Yeah, because we learned this during the NFL broadcast. He doesn't really watch.
No, he doesn't know.
He watches,
but
he doesn't know anything.
He doesn't know ball.
He's not a ball knower.
One more female male sack. The prehistoric river otter of 2 million years ago was the size of a modern-day lion.
Dude, I shout out Black History Month. We'll get to a good fun fact. The animal updates that people give me randomly in my life now are great.
Can you think of an animal from 2 million years ago that you would be more scared of than the river otter the size of a modern-day lion?
I believe the two animals I'll give you is the size of snakes.
Okay.
They've looked it up, and it's like literally they would swallow us easily. And then also, I want to say they were giant squirrels.
Whoa, and we had giant squirrels back in the day?
Yeah.
How big were their nuts?
I
mean, they're burying. Come on, Swag.
Well, they're burying pretty big nuts.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah, it's where is it? Anyways, the squirrel.
Big squirrels.
They're squirrely.
How big was the biggest spider 2 million years ago? Do we have any bigger spiders, or is that just a fake imagination in my head?
Imagine.
I mean, a river otter the size of a lion.
That's eating you.
That's scare the hell
Isn't
out
it
of me.
chasing you at least to try to eat you?
Shout out, by the way, to Lewis and Clark. They officially named their, I don't know if that's been known. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about that.
It became official.
The yachts.
They played them
the River Otters.
Or in the non-conference.
I might get some River Otter gear.
Talked about that.
Yeah, you almost went there.
I almost did.
Yeah.
River Otters away. I mean, look, the
yachts.
Pioneer thing, I'm like, really? We're getting rid of Pioneers? We're at that point? Okay, whatever. But River Otter?
It's not a bad alternative.
Not a bad. Like, if you're changing,
River Otters,
you make sure you change in the right direction. You don't become the Guardians or the Commanders. You got to choose right, and they did. River Otters is solid.
Also, have you ever looked up giant sloths?
I have not, no.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was giant.
They don't move very fast, but that would scare you.
How do you know those ones didn't?
There you go. Mail sack every Tuesday at 9 a.m. A rule change is on the horizon. Is one sport going to say, ooh, look at that. That looks sexy, or is this a bridge too far? We'll get to that next. First, here's us with a update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Oregon Ducks women's golf team ranked number 3 in the country in action at the Chevron Collegiate out in the golf course of Houston, Humble, Texas. Final round this morning. The Ducks as a team right now in 4th, 4 shots behind North Carolina. But Kiara Romero leads for the individual honor. She is 10 under par, 3 shots clear of her nearest competitor. If she can hold on and win, she would set a program record with her 5th individual collegiate title.
Happy Black History Month. 2 fun ones for you since the month is almost over. 1845, Macon Allen became the first black man licensed to practice law. And 1908, Jack Johnson became the first black world heavyweight champion.
One newspaper in the Northeast making history for the wrong reason, although you certainly don't blame them for it. They've been hammered by the blizzard in the Northeast the last couple of days. Everybody's got like 2 feet of snow out there. The Boston Globe has been in production since 1872. They have never missed a day of delivering the paper until Monday.
The Blizzard did it,
It was the first time since 1872 that they were like, you know what? No, we're not doing it.
Can't get out.
We're not doing it. There's too much snow.
There you go. More Women's Golf Black History Month and newspaper stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with
One more home game for them before they head out on the road. Anthony Edwards in town. Should be a fun one. T-Wolves and Blazers.
Will he make us howl?
Probably. He did last time. Have they played here since opening night?
Oh.
Because opening night, he was phenomenal. Didn't he take the game over? Weren't we up? And we had a really good night, and then Anthony Edwards went Anthony Edwards mode, and we're like, oh, damn it. That's really – we don't have that guy.
I don't know. I'm forgetting.
I remember that game, certainly. I remember that one. I don't remember another T-Wolves Blazer game.
Yeah, that was October 22nd. He had 41 points in a rally in the fourth quarter.
Buddy. So we'll close up there. I do have a football question to get to in a moment, but we were on the topic in the last segment of the mail sack. That was interesting. Sean Hyken reporting this morning, this came across the wire, that the Portland Fire have announced a local broadcast partnership with KPDX and KPTV.
Channel 12.
Channel 12. So all non-national games will air on Fox 12 Plus, and some of their games will simulcast on the actual Fox 12 channel. So Fox 12 and the Portland Fire are getting into the mix. I think everybody has the Fox 12 Plus channel, if I'm not wrong.
I think so, because didn't we have a Blazer game on there not too long ago for whatever the reason?
Madam.
Am I wrong on that?
Don't quote me on that, but I tend to agree with you there. It's not like the 2.2 on YouTube TV doesn't have it, but Comcast has it.
Right.
The Blazer games are on.
You need the antenna.
Yeah, you need the antenna to watch it, so I think that's available.
Blazer Vision's been clutch for me this year, by the way.
It's been solid, dude. That was a smart idea. It's been much easier to watch games, use your tablet, use your phone when you need to do it.
Yeah.
The ease of it, the quality. I've had a few times where it's buffered a little bit and the quality hasn't been perfect, but I'm not going to be overly critical. Because I went through that on Sunday with even watching the Olympics at times, Peacock for me, I have no issues with any other streaming sites. Peacock, when I use it occasionally, I feel like I'm watching it. It's like a glitch every 30 seconds, and it's not a smooth stream.
I haven't had that problem with Peacock. But on the WNBA part, like being on one of the local channels is great. It's just going to be such a weird bummer if they don't come to an agreement on this.
It would really suck to have this build-up, jerseys unveiled, opening season, and nothing. It would suck.
And look, I'm really pro player in this stuff. I just kind of wonder if the players. You don't want to agree to a bad deal, but you evaluate this and say, are we better served to be around and on?
You have a lot of momentum right now.
It's a longevity play in some ways. Like this deal might not be everything you want.
Maybe you go shorter term and let's hit the tables again here in 3 years.
Maybe,
right?
Or maybe it's like take this and if you don't, okay, we're striking and we're locked out. But I really hope that they can come to an agreement on this stuff. It would be a real bummer for this summer to not have the unveiling of a new organization and something to go view and watch your kids or watch something with your kids. Like not having that would be a big letdown.
Absolutely would. I agree with you 100% there. When you got momentum as a sport, you want to ride it as long as you possibly can. That's my feeling on hockey right now. Like I know it's going to fall off, but there's like a
till
wave.
The playoffs.
Right, but there's like a wave of like, hey, everybody's kind of tired. Hey, that was fun. Like how do you capitalize on this? There's got to be a way to do it. That's been the energy in the WNBA for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I saw this earlier. We talked about yesterday with you out. There is no longer the discussion this offseason that the NFL is going to ban the tush push. They're tabling that idea. The attempts were down. The success rate was down a little bit. The Eagles didn't do it 800,000 times, and so it's not quite the hot topic that it was a year ago, and so they're not going to do it. I did chuckle, though. I don't watch any of it, and I'm not going to watch any of it, but the UFL continuing to be the sport that's like, let's try out the crazy thing that the NFL won't do and see if it works.
Oh, I know.
They're doing it. So the UFL announced that they are going to ban the tush push.
Yes,
They're not going to allow it. They also announced today that 60-plus yard field goals in the UFL, the United Football League, I'm assuming, will be worth 4 points. 60-plus yarders. Now, let me ask you this, because I know it's an immediate no. 60-yarders are a dime a dozen in the NFL.
How many more field goal attempts do we get in games when teams
Is
are
there a
down
number
4?
that you would be okay with?
4.
4 points.
4. 60 yards.
60
points.
yards,
This
you're
is
okay with it?
Look,
how many 60-yarders were made last year in the NFL?
I don't know, but it felt like it was a kind of a more regular occurrence than it has been. I will never watch the UFL. I don't care about seeing them do
this is the only interesting thing, because didn't they get the kickoff rule from the UFL?
Yes, steal their stuff.
12 field goals last year, 60 yards or longer. 12 of 22.
Do you have the list of kickers? Like, did Aubrey have 3 of the 12? 4 of the 12.
Oh, good question. I'll see if I can find that. The longest one was Cam Little of the Jags, 68-yarder.
I think
he
the
had
Vikings,
2 or 3 of them.
Vikings kid had 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
I would be all for trying it. And if it doesn't work, it's like the pass interference review. You scrap it after a year. But
yeah, if it doesn't work.
When you're sitting at like 4th and 6, 4th and 8, and your team is down 4, not 3, and you're 62 yards away from a field goal, your team's going for it.
Yeah.
Would you want the suspense?
Imagine being down by 4. Like how many games?
Or would you hate it as the other team?
God, it's such a balance because it'll bite your ass.
Yeah, they tie
How many games do you see that are like 24-20? And all of a sudden,
they have to go for it.
Let's do it.
Well, the other piece of it is,
you got to score a touchdown.
I think I'm out.
Say
you're out on it now.
Say you're driving though, and let's say you get to, because normally they snap it back 8 yards.
Do you take a sack?
So if you get to the 40, no, do you just? Can they back up 2 more yards so it's a longer snap, almost like a punt,
just to get the
extra point?
Back.
Yeah,
because I was thinking in my head when I read this morning, I was thinking,
sneaky good point.
Scenarios 24-20, your team's trailing.
Right,
they're driving. You need a touchdown to win. Field goal won't do you no good, other than a 4-point field goal.
So maybe you get stuck at the 37-yard line.
And you can't pick up a first down, and you slide backwards.
Either you can take a delay a game.
You could.
So it would be a normal length.
You would just keep taking penalties.
Or you could.
I don't like this.
To set up a 60-yard field goal to try and tie the game?
I think I'm out.
What about 70? 74? Like if you kick a 70-yarder,
nobody's kicked a 70-yarder ever.
Cam Little hit 68 last year. We're not that far away from it.
Didn't one of them hit a 70-yarder in preseason?
We got an Oracle moment here?
Nice little moan by you.
I don't know if somebody hit a 70-yarder.
I feel like somebody did and it didn't count.
Cam Little, 68-yarder is the longest.
Well, that's in a game. Obviously, preseason games don't count in the record books.
Yeah.
But
I thought somebody hit like a 70-yarder, but maybe I'm misremembering.
Janikowski attempted a 76-yarder.
Not so funny now. Like suddenly that might happen in our lives.
Lane Kiffin was ahead of his time.
I'll say this: 71 plus should count as a touchdown.
I just love that this has turned into.
You can do that.
Yes, just give you 7.
You've earned the touchdown.
They have turned into the UFL has turned into like how we whenever we're trying new medicine or whatever and we inject mice with it. That's become the UFL of football.
Oh, dude, the UFL is the mice.
We're injecting them with whatever crazy idea we can come up with. They're a lab rat, and we're like, ooh, I kind of like that idea. We stole the kickoffs. They're banning the tush push. We'll see how it works. Now they're saying 60-yard field goals this year in the UFL will be worth 4 points.
Yeah,
I tend to agree with you. I don't want it.
I think I would end up hating it.
There's a chaotic part of it that I'm like, God, that would be really funny on a final drive. If your team's down by 4 and they're just like, you know what, screw it. Stop right here, kick the field goal because we're in range for a 60-yarder. Let's try and tie the game.
Yeah.
So that's happening in the UFL. Blazers back in action tonight. Can they make it 2 in a row against the T-Wolves? Anthony Edwards in town. We'll close up there next. Answer the poll questions. 105.1 FM The Fan. Well, shout out to one of our P1s pointing something out that I missed earlier this morning. Chiming in on the text line, we finally have our answer. Years ago, we famously had an interview on our show that we thought was going to break news, and then nothing ever came of that breaking news.
You know what happens sometimes? You get a quote from somebody, and you're like, that's pretty big, and then nothing.
We ran with it, and it was huge, and it circulated, and we were getting. It was one of the bigger newsworthy things that we had ever done early on in our show's history, and that was an interview with Damon Stoudemire years ago.
He's going through it right now.
He's having a tough time.
Georgia Tech.
And he told us in the interview that they were in the middle of filming a Jailblazer documentary.
Yeah.
This was on the horizon. We're like,
right.
oh, my God. We sent out a tweet, Damon Stoudemire telling us, sources, not even sources. He told us directly. And that's been kicked around. Like, we've asked that question a million. When's the doc coming out? Is it happening? Different guys have teased the idea of it happening. But we now have our answer. And that answer is right around the corner. Untold is the Netflix documentary series that they do on different topics. Some are shorter and longer. They just announced their 4 new documentary films premiering at the end of March 31st. And one of those documentaries is the Jailblazers documentary.
How about that?
They will revisit the early 2000s Trailblazers through firsthand accounts from Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire, Bonzi Wells, and more.
Okay.
Are we excited?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that we're going to learn a whole lot because I don't know did you listen to the broadcast against the Suns game?
I did. Steve Smith was on the call.
Steve Smith was on the call. It took me a while to identify it was Steve Smith because I missed the very beginning of the game. I'm like, who's barely talking?
And then they showed him. I'm like, is he just a guest or is he doing the whole game?
So Lamar will be back in Chicago. But Steve Smith got to this point during the game. He was talking about that because I think Calabro brought up how it might be a top 5 Trailblazer team. I'd argue definitely top 3.
The pain of losing and how he hasn't gotten over it.
Yeah, and how he basically, he just relived the moment. He felt like they got screwed, all that. So, like, there's that element of it to hear what they say. But it's been so long that we've been waiting for this.
Right.
That it's lost a little buzz. But I think now that we know where it's going to be in the date, it'll pick some buzz back up.
There's 4 of them they're coming out with at the end of the March. One on Lamar Odom.
What's that about?
Him dying at the Bunny Ranch and then being revived.
I feel like we do
that. I'm just.
His candy addiction.
He eats a lot of candy.
Yeah.
Is Kim Kardashian or Chloe?
Chloe
Kardashian.
He's married to Chloe. He just actually got in trouble. He's at rehab right now.
Oh, that's not good. Chessmates is the Magnus Carlsen. Is that who it is? The chess guy and his Hans Niemann 2024 rematch. They're getting a documentary.
Okay.
After
that
cheating scandal.
Yep.
And then how about dressage being in the news? The shooting at Hawthorne Hill. A retired Olympic equestrian and his new dressage student begin a feud that culminates in a shocking act of violence.
Not so easy now, is it, Andrew?
No longer
Do it
easy.
while you're getting shot
if
at.
they're shooting at you while you're on the horse, tough sport.
It's a different level to get a gold medal in.
Totally agree. I cannot do that gold medal. I'm not surviving that one. And the Blazers are one of them. So I don't know what the exact, because I think they do them in sequence. So the first one will come out March 31st. So it's right around the corner.
I mean, we're going to watch it, obviously.
We will obviously watch it. Yes, we will. Blazers in action tonight. They're taking on the T-Wolves. What we know about who's playing, who's not playing. Shaedon Sharpe, out. Denny Avdia, out. Damian Lillard, out.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And Naz Reid on Minnesota side is a game-time decision. This is a Peacock game, which thank the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that it's not an 8 p.m. tip. It's a 7 p.m. tip. I don't know why Peacock changed that, but whoever decided that, I appreciate you, fam. 7 p.m. tip, 6.5 is your line. How we feeling about the old T-Wolves tonight in town?
T-Wolves are weird. Who did they just lose to? They just lost this. Oh, the Sixers just clubbed them.
Did they?
At home.
Yeah, 135-108.
If Randall and Edwards are going, all right. But that's their problem is their offensive inconsistencies, and defensively they have some real lapses, even having Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, they just beat us by 24 right before the break in Minnesota.
Portland played pretty well, and look, it was a much lesser talented team in Phoenix who'd miss a lot of guys from injury and whatnot. You got a shot. You're one of the best teams at home against the spread. Roll the dice.
You take the 6.5 tonight?
Yeah, why not?
I have a tough feeling with this one, knowing what am I weighing too much of what happened on Friday on my mind? Because that was pretty bad on Friday.
Well, they just laid an egg at Minnesota about a week ago. So
they did.
Yeah, you see that you play a little better than that, and maybe you can do it. I know Denny's out. That's a big loss, obviously, but they also have weird moments that when he's out, they have like their offense will generate a little bit, move the ball a little bit more.
Excited to see what Scoot does, hopefully in the starting lineup. We'll see how that looks for him if he's in there. They haven't said anything yet, but no Denny, no Shaedon tonight. Poll questions up. Who's the best tight end in the NFL? Pretty even. Trey McBride, 39%, 31% Brock Bowers, 28% other. You are desperate and you need a quarterback for next season. These 4 are the only ones available. Who are you picking? You ready for this?
I've enjoyed some of the responses like, really?
Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, or Aaron Rodgers, and your winner right now
I can't believe this is the winner.
is Kirk Cousins at 36.7%, followed by Aaron Rodgers, 27.8%.
I get it, but like,
Kyler Murray, 24% to 11%.
Watch Kirk Cousins play football, or we just gone?
I actually have some Kirk Cousins audio in my notes. It was actually, no, it's just him talking about Mike McDonald's defense and what makes it so hard. He's going to be a great broadcaster. He's
going to take more money from entities.
He will steal more money from entities.
Fourth
all
most
time
money made.
Business Hall of Famer right there.
In NFL history, he has 1 playoff win.
There you go. Good little show. If you missed it, go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, at Dirt and Sprague, at 1051thefan on Twitter. We'll tweet it out here as soon as we're done. For watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Like the video before it shuts down. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Firm, if Harrison Meringue is next. Listen to 1051 FM The Fan.